Start streaming. Okay. It is started. What's up? I was just chilling, about to play some. I just did one flight, and I figured I'd turn the stream on. Say hi to you guys. Sunday. It's chill. Contracts. So let's see. There are some new things. They added some more fjord missions here in Norway. It could be cool to do one of those. Whoa. 18 stops. All right. 1,400 miles, 18 stops. That could be kind of fun to start. Oh wait, that's part 2. Here's part 1. I have no idea what that says. Highest obstacle 4,800. Hey Martin, what's up? I gotta turn the air on in here. It's a little hot. I'll be right back. All right. Today I actually boxed up my Honeycomb Bravo to send it back because even though I've owned it a few months, I realized one of the switches doesn't work at all. And one of the levers, like the detent spot, like where you pull the lever down and then it has a little more pull to it, that triggers a button press for things like thrust reversers and things like that. And one of those doesn't work either. So apparently there's a problem with it, so they're going to replace it, which is great. But for now, I'm just using rudder pedals and my side stick, my Airbus side stick. So I'm gonna use the little slider thing. If you have like the T16000, it's just like that. There's a little slider under the stick, so I'm using that for my throttle. Everything else will be on buttons. I actually use this setup every now and then when I'm feeling too lazy to like hook up my throttle and stuff. Oh, you're doing the Norway one? Seems pretty cool. I should do it. I don't really do the scenic ones, but they seem pretty cool. I just always go for the paid ones. Oh, this takes me out to a browser. Oh, okay. This is for like a documentary, it looks like. That's pretty cool though. It is nighttime there though, right? I was flying with, maybe I'll start with a cargo mission first. And actually, I think you don't get penalized for doing these. Like if you transfer, they pay for the relocation fee or whatever. But right now my plane's over here in Pennsylvania. What? Why does it keep taking me there? Oh, because I have it filtered at the top, that's why. But yeah, right now I'm still in the US. I was in Europe for a bit and I moved back to the US here. I tend to just go for these gold ones because the gold or yellow colored, golden colored ones are all the curated ones instead of like the system generated ones. Grasshopper. I could start with a Grasshopper one. 148 miles. Turboprop. All right. I don't have a lot of mods installed right now. I think all I have is I have the NXI installed, of course, because I'm obsessed with it. And I think I just installed the Navigraph charts again because I want to use them in the toolbar just so you guys can see the flight plan and stuff. Turboprop feasible. Generally, when it says turboprop feasible, I go with the tried and true Grand Caravan. All right, let's do this one to start. Oh, looks like I had this flight that I didn't do. RIP. My reliability score is going to go down. $16 in fees. 0 PN6 to PN33. All right. PN6. Is that right? 3 springs. Papa November 6 to Papa November 33. Branning Field. You pay, they give you your money back when you're done. Oh man. Yeah, that's a little risky, right? IFR. Let's see what we got. I want to try something different here. I want to save this. Oh, let's see. No, let's use SimBrief. So I have Navigraph charts installed, and what I'm going to do is import it. So I'll stick on GPS here, and then I'll go over to SimBrief. Why doesn't this like working? Let me try to fix this. There we go. All right, so SimBrief, we have 0PN6, PN33. 3, 0PN6, I guess I read that wrong. 0PN6. Wait, that's right. 0PN6, PN33. Huh. Unknown departure airport. Feels bad. Hey, Brent. Been thinking about buying this? Yeah, I use all of the career mode mods. Not all of them. I don't really use FS Economy. I feel like it's got kind of the oldest UI. It's kind of the hardest to use, I think. But Skypark is just really simple. But I did do an on-air company flight earlier. Just because if you want the realism, like you want the weights and balances, you want the fuel management and all that stuff. I treat it more like, you know, like this is just more casual. I feel like Skypark. It's really nice because you can just switch planes whenever you want. Just jump from one country to another. It's just more laid back. So when I want something more laid back, I do Skypark. And when I want something more hardcore, I do on-air company. And I know Neofly is really great. And I don't really know why I don't use Neofly that much. So I guess I can't. For some reason, this airport is not listed. 0PN6. 0PN6. And it says there's no, it doesn't know this airport. So I'm just going to pick a different one then, because I really want to use SimBrief and Navigraph charts within the sim, because it's really cool to have moving map and all that stuff. So let me pick a different one here. I've done a lot of those Grasshopper missions though. Oh, here's another Grasshopper one. Let's see if it has 0 New York 1 KHAQ. Oh my God, what? Come on, man. I even have the latest AirAC cycle through Navigraph because Navigraph bought SimBrief, and you can use your Navigraph AirAC cycle for the nav database. So I'm not sure why that's not working. It's kind of weird. I like Skypark for the easy part. Yeah, it's just more laid back, easier to use for sure. Yeah, it's definitely the easiest to use, 100%. The interface is great. What's really funny is that in here, you can see they take a dig at the other apps. If you go here into settings under gameplay, they have 2 different modes. You can see this one's like, it uses karma and XP and you have money and stuff. The other mode is like, just do whatever you want mode. But in both of them, down here, you can see it says no spreadsheet interface, like as a perk of both modes. Like, nope, no spreadsheet interface, which is pretty much, you know, Neofly and On-Air Company both feel kind of like a spreadsheet. It is very simple. Yeah, Skypark is just for Microsoft Flight Simulator, so it integrates easily with it. You just install it and it literally just works. On-Air Company is also On-Air, and Neofly is just for Microsoft Flight Sim as well. It also just works. On-Air Company, you just choose your sim and it pretty much just works. I think the only one I ever had a challenge setting up was FS Economy when I first started using that. but I haven't used that, to be fair, in like a year. And I think I was using it with X-Plane at the time. But yeah, I mean, you really can't go wrong. I think you should pick based on your budget. Neofly is free. Skypark is a one-time cost through Orbex, and On Air Company is a subscription, so it's about $35 US a year. It's expensive if you pay monthly for On Air, but if you pay like a year or 2 years in advance, it ends up being like $2 or $3 a month instead of like $8 or $9 US dollars a month. It's like a third of the price if you just prepay. And I know everybody always asks like, what's the difference between them? And if the money is not the thing, you want it to be the features. Skypark is casual. Neofly has the coolest variety of missions, and On Air Company is kind of the more hardcore, and you can manage a whole airline and stuff like that. So, yeah, it just depends on how hardcore you want it to be. Skypark is definitely the most casual. All right, it doesn't like this either. Let me try one of the longer routes, slightly longer ones. It just doesn't like any of these airport codes. They're not in SimBrief for some reason. I just got some, I'm trying a new copyright-free music site called Epidemic Sounds because it was getting really repetitive on the other one I was using. So if you guys hate the music, you know, I apologize. It's kind of on shuffle, but I just want something in the background. Since I started using Skypark, I only fly with it. Yeah, it's really laid back. I mostly use the Skypark. It's just laid back. It's cool. And they have tours and stuff. On Air Company has tours. I think they all have tours now that are more like scenic things instead of, you know, get paid kind of missions. Like Skypark not using the same AirEC. I think Skypark it has its own, but I think they update it with the Microsoft Flight Sim database. Because every now and then, yeah, like right here. So they updated on Wednesday. It says updated database from latest Flight Sim update. The letter O. I didn't because I know. Oh, actually, yeah, let me check. It's usually a 0, I think, when it's at the beginning, but let me check. 0. Yeah, that's an O. Yeah, it just doesn't like it. I don't know. Let me try to find another one. You can just try something like this. Okay, 130 miles, 1D7. Okay. Doesn't know PN33, but doesn't know KPIR. It does. All right, there we go. Wow, this is some poppy music. I'm used to, maybe I should switch back to like a, let me find, this is a little too dance party. I feel like I'm at like a bar in the 80s or something. Not that I've been to a bar in the 80s personally. Let me try something different here. It's an experiment with the music, trying something different. Using 0, you need the letter O. I tried both, but yeah, I don't. This one's in here though. K1D7. K1D7 to K, or sorry, 1D7. Why did I put a K in front of it? Wait, what? Oh, it's putting a K in front of it automatically. SimBrief is. That's weird. Now it's just kind of hanging. 1 Delta 7. Kilo 1 Delta 7. Wow, that's a really great route. Yeah, SimBrief is free. So that's a boring route, right? It's not really gonna let me show off the cool Navigraph stuff. All right, let's try again, I guess. I also don't. It's kind of hard to pick these sometimes, especially when streaming, just because I don't want it to be so long that we're sitting on autopilot cruising for 2 hours. That'd be super boring. I don't know. Let's just do a grasshopper one. I don't know. I'll just skip the navigraph for now so we can get off the ground. All right, let's just do this guy. And I like doing the VFR stuff. All right, 17II. 241 India Sierra. 41 IS. All right, there we go. And is there a recommended IFR? There is. To Dressen Field. All right, let's get out there. And let me do all players live. There we go. And let's see, Grand Caravan I think is good. Seeing the info, it recommends just a piston, 104 miles. So we can check the runway info under here. Takeoff 2,400 foot runway, landing 1,400 foot runway. This is, what's the landing roll for this Cessna? 208B landing. Runway required 1,600 feet for landing distance. So that's cutting it close. We might run off the end of the runway there. I think I just want to risk it just so we can go faster. And we can take off in 1,100 feet roughly. So yeah, we have plenty for takeoff. Landing might just be a little bit sketchy, but I don't know, that sounds fun to me. So I think we should try it. Why not? And I've streamed Skypark a bunch of times, and generally I forget to I just crashed. Oh no. Feels bad. Well, the only thing I installed, you know what's weird is I don't know where the Navigraph installation went. Let me uninstall Navigraph and see if that does it. What's really weird is Navigraph has its own installer program. So you open their program and you tell it to install the plugin. And I did that. And what's weird is I didn't see the plugin actually show up in my community folder. So I'm not sure what happened there. Skypark and co-op. Wait, did they have a co-op mode? Is that new? How do you use it in co-op mode? I don't know about that at all. Do you mean using like shared cockpit or something like that? Your controls? I realized I was kneecapping my frame rates by popping out my VFR map and ATC onto my second monitor. Closing them almost doubled my frame rate. Dude. Wow. I didn't realize it lowered the frame rate that much. I haven't popped my controls out for a while, mainly just because, you know, I'm making videos and streaming, so I try to keep everything just on one within the sim, you know, so it's all visible at once. That's good to know though. I had done that regularly before, like with some of the real sim gear stuff, because you have to pop it out, pull it to another monitor, pull it onto those screens for the real sim gear stuff. Something I did in my settings was turn the glass cockpit rate to high. That's supposed to be a frame rate killer too, but I really like seeing it update really quickly. It's my internet is not dead. Okay, I'm back. That was weird. My streaming software like disconnected and reconnected, so hopefully it's back now. Got a little interruption there. You set your glass cockpit to high, seems to be fine. Sweet. Yeah, I mean, the performance improvements are just awesome. I'm really happy. I know a lot of people are having issues. I think a lot of them are because of plugins, or sorry, you know, add-ons and mods. But even Xbox users, I think, are having a bunch. I have not tried flying for real yet, though. My girlfriend, her birthday is coming up. She said, I think she said something like, for my birthday, I mean, or for her birthday, she wants to take me in a plane with her instructor and watch me sit, like fly it, because she knows I'm a little weirded out, like a little weirded out by it. But I have not yet. But she said that, so we'll see. I don't know if she's serious. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of excited too. Like, I haven't flown with her since December. After she got her PPL, we took a flight, did about 100-mile flight here in California, and did the, like, you know, the $500 coffee flight or whatever you want to call it. So she flew us up for coffee and back, about 200 miles round trip. And it was cool. She did a slip coming into one of the approaches because she needed to lose some more altitude. And I like knew what was happening, but before I knew it, she was doing it. She's like, all right, guys, I'm going to have to, and our other friend was with us too. She was like, I'm going to have to slip. And she just puts it into this slip. And it was unreal, like watching that in real life. And I was in the back seat. I let her friend sit in the front. So I was in the back seat with ForeFlight on the whole time, kind of distracting myself, looking for traffic and stuff. But yeah, it was exciting. I was definitely nervous, but it was also really exciting. So I had a good time. But yeah, it's been a bit. You know, COVID has put a slowdown on a lot of that. Having the vaccines come out has been helpful. So she's, you know, been able to get more back into it because of that. But all right, let's try this again. Hopefully I don't crash this time. This was the one right here. 17 double India 41 India Sierra. Okay, I'm gonna try. I'll just do their IFR flight plan, start on the ramp. Looks like there's one parking spot here. All right, let's try this again. If it happens again, I know what I'm going to do. If it crashes right now, I know the next thing I'm going to do, which is, and I had this problem with Sim Update 5 when that came out. For some reason, I was crashing every time I had photogrammetry turned on. Okay, it's working now. I don't know. Wow, what is that? Is that snow? All right, I have no plugins on, so this is all stock right now. Stock trees, stock everything. All right, I'm gonna use assisted checklist as usual because I'm lazy. Sharing adventures with others has never been this easy. Enter an existing contract code into Smart Search. You'll get a unique contract with the same route. Oh, I see. So they make it so... I see. They just made it so... I think all the blue routes that are shown in Skypark are unique to your installation. So when you start it up, it says like generating contracts. So I think all of these are just on your computer because they're generated uniquely to you. And then the gold ones, I think, are for everyone. So like these gold color ones are kind of campaigns for, what's going on? Campaigns for everyone. So everybody will have these, I think. So that makes sense. So you can go into one of these and share a code. Oh, that's this code, huh? 45C6E. I got you. So if I share this code with you guys, or if you guys are flying right now and you want to fly the exact same mission on Skypark, I guess that's what you could do. You could just copy this code, Alpha 65901. And then if you do a search for that, that makes sense. Cool. I didn't know that. So up here in the Smart Search, did I forget that 65901? Is that what it is? I probably remembered the wrong one. Alpha 6591. No results. Maybe it's just because actually, maybe it's because of my zoom level. It said Smart Search, right? Anyway, maybe it's not working for me because I have it. That's cool though. That's pretty cool. I didn't know about that, so thanks for letting me know. All right, we're still sitting here. It's been, what has it been, a half an hour? I haven't taken off yet. Good stream, everyone. Good stream. Okay, for takeoff set. We got the flight plan put in from the world map. I'm gonna cheat with the B button, set the altimeter. Switch to north up mode because I can't stand heading up mode. There we go. I have the G1000 NXI on still. All right, let's see where we're at here. All right. So I guess this is the runway right here. I use a lot of shortcuts when I do more casual stuff. Like I use the assisted checklist. I don't check the ATIS or reference anything besides, I just use the shortcuts, you know, just keep it casual because, you know, this is just about flying around and having fun, not about, you know, doing all the procedures 100% perfectly, which I don't do anyway. I try my best, you know. So yeah, I take a lot of shortcuts when I'm just flying around casually. And all right, and I'm just using my side stick today. Liveries, these are all stock liveries, so I have nothing, absolutely nothing installed. This is all stock. This is one of the new ones. This one's for the Grand Caravan. Oops. When they released Sim Update 5, they added new liveries to almost every plane. So you guys have this if you're all up to date. There's some really cool ones, like the Cub, like pretty much every plane has a new livery. There's some crazy ones. The CJ4 has this like reflective purple and blue one. In my last video I made, the Diamond DA62 has a really cool, like, it looks like a topography camo, if you've ever had that in like a, you know, like a shooter, if you've ever played Call of Duty or something. They usually have those kind of camos, or there's a bunch of curved lines and stuff. I think they call them like topography camos or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot. Are the grass hardways often hard to find? Yes, 100%. I used to use the enhanced airport graphics add-on, which is in the marketplace because it adds like more detail to the taxiways and the runways and stuff. But they also mess with the grass runways, I think, in a bad way, where they're even harder to find than normal. So I actually don't like using that plugin or that add-on when I'm doing the grass strips. All right, let's make sure our flaps are in takeoff. There we go. Fuel condition to max. All right, we supposedly have about 2,500 feet for this one. And I need to remember to start the mission because I didn't do that. I'm notoriously bad at starting the missions in Skypark. I'll load it up. I'll do all this. I'll taxi out. And then I'll just forget to start the mission and not get credit for it. So yeah, I'm very bad at that. So this time I'm going to try to remember to do it. Here we go. Resume. Load the stuff in. We're transporting polymers, I guess. Polymers for hard rubber. Am I saying polymers right? I don't know. Highest obstacle is 800 feet. This is pretty low altitude flying. 104 miles. And our destination right here, Rees Field, it's only 1,400 feet, and we need like 1,600 for a landing, technically. So we're risking this for fun to see what happens. Our rotation is 70. That's just the standard. We're not doing any calculations or anything like that. And if you use the NXI, it actually shows them here. Normally on the G1000, if you go to timer references, this will have any of the known speeds, like for the speed bugs programmed in. On the NXI, it shows them here under your airspeed strip before you take off. So these bugs will be turned on automatically, I think. Yeah, they're all turned on automatically. And it matters which plane you're flying. This data comes from the sim. So some of these are not 100% accurate either. Like I found some that were way too high. Like for the diamonds, they seem way too high. All right, let's go. I'm holding the brakes. We have flaps at 1. Announce it. Oh, announce rotate. I think in the airliners, if you guys fly the airliners, you get stuff like that. Actually, it says V1, right? In the airliners. I know it says V1, which is like you can't abort. That's where you cannot abort the takeoff at that point. But with the NXI, it doesn't say any of that stuff. Wow, we're rolling like crazy. All right, and our VY, our best rate of climb is like, what did it say, 75? 70, I think. Looks like I lost the music. I'll get autopilot going and turn on the background music again. You guys can judge the shuffling of the playlist that's happening in the background. Oh, the cargo loading before takeoff. Oh, I got you. Yeah, it would be nice if it like reminded you. I think On Air company does that. It'll like, I think it'll warn you. Neofly maybe even too. But as far as I know, there's no warning in Skypark for when you're, yeah, when you're messing up and not starting the mission. And today I'm just using I use the TCA or the Airbus side stick. It's pretty good. One problem with it that I had is the rudder axis, the Z axis, when you twist, is like crazy. It just randomly puts inputs in, so I don't even use the rudder thing on it anymore. I use my pedals, but it is nice to have the option to just use a stick. But I'm not using a separate throttle today. I'm just using the stick, and I've got the hey, we can be pretty low here. So we're going westbound. So westbound VFR altitude would be even number of thousands of feet, and then you add 500. So 2,500 would be a good one for us. Pull back on the throttle a little bit. All right, we're at 2,500 right now. All right, I'm going to turn on the autopilot, and I'll get the music going again. Altitude. Have it hold us at 2,500. So vertical speed mode down a little bit, just to get back down to 2,500. All right, let me check what happened with the music here. I think I'm just using this thing called Epidemic Sounds, and I almost feel like it doesn't move to the next song automatically or something. It's kind of weird. No, maybe it did. Maybe I'm making that up. Anyway, let's see how it goes. I hit play. I wanted to use the Navigraph charts to maybe I'll reinstall them and restart and see if it works, but I'm not sure. That might be what was crashing the game just now, crashing the sim. All right, so we're flying south. Denham is our first waypoint. Then we got Maps, Lucid, Eon, a VOR over here, Motif, and then our landing. I'm gonna try to keep it just going really fast. I know, like, you know, again, realistically, you wouldn't keep it at 100% throttle, but I just want to do it to save us some time. Don't judge me. It's a rental, right? We don't care about the wear and tear or the fuel. It's just, we don't have to think about those things. All right, I'm playing the ambient gaming playlist. We'll see how this goes. Might put us to sleep. Had to abort takeoff a few times to load the cargo. Oh yeah, that's happened to me before too. Yeah, you're rolling down, you're like about ready to take off, and you're just like, oh God, I forgot to hit the button, no. But I did hit it here, so. Wait, what is this? Oh, okay. I don't know if this is new or not. I guess you can report issues with the runways or like the departure and arrival locations. I don't like airports like this. Is that a legit thing to say? To report to the to the Skypark team? Parking location inaccessible. That's a pretty good one. That doesn't happen to me much, but there are times when you get to an airport and you try to park to basically end the flight, and it just doesn't end the flight. So that's kind of nice. Maybe they remove those as destinations. Too short. It's interesting. Wow, this music is great. Turn it down a little bit. All right, we are almost redlining, so we're hauling ASS. I think if I, after the stream is over, it asks me to like put if I had inappropriate language in the stream or not. It's really, YouTube's really interesting. They like ask you to rate your own content, which makes sense because an advertiser, if you say the word like poop and it offends people and they don't want to advertise if you say poop or crap on your channel, makes sense. All right, so yeah, our highest obstacle on this is only 800 feet. I really like in Skypark, like this info it gives you, it makes the flight planning really easy. Like they just tell you the highest obstacle on the route, so you know, just your minimum altitude for the whole flight. And then the info it gives you for every airport you're landing at, you can just click to expand it. So you get airport elevation, you get the runway information, whether it's lit or not, what type of runway it is, the runway headings or runway numbers, you know, which is pretty sweet. Elevator music. I feel like it's like picking music is the hardest thing ever on a stream. I feel like it's too quiet without the music, but it's such a risk. You just like pick the wrong thing. You know, you can't please everyone with the music choice. So I try to keep it kind of I was gonna say kind of tame, and then almost said kind of lame, but I guess that's kind of accurate too. All right. You know, the stock trees don't actually look too bad. I use the tree add-on, that Bijan trees add-on from the, there's one version of it in the marketplace, but it's caused me to crash before when there's sim updates. But there's also, you can get it on like simmarket.com, I think is where I got it from. And that developer, that guy updates it all the time. It's like every week or every few days there's an update with more trees in certain areas added. He's like on a mission to cover the world, like just put unique trees everywhere in the world, which is pretty cool. But the default trees don't look too bad. You don't get the seasonal stuff really though, as far as I know. All right, how long is this flight anyway? All right, we're almost at our first waypoint. This will be pretty fast, just like 100 miles. Yeah, this livery is really cool. I wish I could like look at the aircraft selection menu. Sorry, I'm trying to get to my drone camera, and there's like a weird thing where the drone camera toggle will change to... Oh, there's the drone camera. Anyway, sometimes it's really weird to get to it with shortcuts. Yeah, if you guys just check your stock liveries, like just run through a bunch of planes, there's a new livery for all of the stock planes. I think pretty much every one of them has a new livery just called Livery 1. So this is the one that got added for the Grand Caravan. It's pretty cool looking. The Summit Tour. There's some really cool ones for the TBM 930 has a cool like blacked out one. It kind of looks like the Stevo Canivo 940, like blacked out TBM. It's really cool. And then the DA62, I put in that NXI update video. That's what I had in that one, and it's black with like gray lines all around it, like a topo camo kind of look. Also really cool. Yeah, Chris, I don't think there's a way to do it yet. Pretty sure that the Garmins are supposed to have like an overall ETE for the entire route. And you should, in the menus, there should be a way to customize what stats are shown here basically, and have a arrival, like time till arrival is one of those. But I think by default, it's just, yeah, estimated time. as far as I know too, ETE is estimated time en route, which it should be basically the arrival to the airport, or the time to the arrival airport. But if you notice here, they actually have all these settings here. Eventually, I'm sure they'll add it where you can customize what shows up here. But for now, all we have is menu settings. But you can see these other, you know, they have these other placeholders right here for weather and traffic. It might be under aviation. I'll have to check the real manual. I don't know offhand what section it's under. But I bet they'll add it in due time. Yeah, I'm always looking for that too, though. Total time en route. And as far as in the sim, I don't think there's an easy way to get it. So I'm always looking at like whatever app I have connected, or like Navigraph or something like that, or whichever app you guys use to do your flight tracking. And then you could look on the world map, I guess, before you start. It'll give you the total flight time. Yeah, I would love to get that in here though, to know exactly. Yeah, I guess we just have to estimate here because we only get you know, distances. We don't get our times or anything like that. But I do see here, see top of descent, this isn't, I don't think this is gonna help us at all because there's no VNAV information in here. I don't have an approach loaded or anything either, so. I don't know what it's calculating top of descent based on. It knows our destination airport, so theoretically it knows the altitude of the airport we're going to. I guess I can estimate once we get to the next waypoint. Too bad most of the liveries are not compatible. Oh, the third-party ones, yeah. I noticed a bunch of people are posting those like fluorescent pink like lights and stuff that are showing up either on the livery or in the lights, like in the airplane, are showing up all like hot pink. Pretty sure that's the livery issue. Yeah, I don't fly the airliners, so I personally, it doesn't really bug me to not have the liveries, but I know a lot of people fly airliners, and it is also really nice to have a variety for the ground traffic, you know, to see like Delta and American and United and KLM or whatever, you know, EasyJet. Like people want to see those liveries, even if they're not flying those planes on the ground. It's really nice to have those, like have the variety. Just makes it look more realistic. That's really the only time I was using the liveries. They weren't for me. It was just to see, you know, not for the plane I was flying, really just to see a variety in what's on the ground. All right, so we're just putting it pedal to the metal here. Don't try this at home. Be nice to your engines. All right, so we passed maps on the way to Lucid. So 22 miles, it says 7 minutes. So say we have 2 more waypoints. So we have like 48 miles, 49 miles. So it should be like 15 minutes or so. This 28. This is ticking down 2 seconds at a time. So maybe this will be accurate. 2 seconds at a time. So take half of that and get 14, 15 minutes. I don't know what it's basing it on, but yeah. We will see. And then let's take a look at the arrival airport one more time. I think the runways were 18 and 36. Yeah, so 18 and 36. Maybe I'll check the weather using ATIS if we can find something on the way or whatever's nearby. So this is 41IS. So if I look that up, 41IS. Sorry, my auto scene switcher thing for the stream. Wait, it's not in Sky Vector. Right? 41 India Sierra. 41 India Sierra. There's an India Sierra 41 in the database on Sky Vector in Illinois. I think that's correct. Yeah, sorry, it looks like my scene thing's messed up. I go back and forth between using, there's this automatic scene switcher that you can use in OBS, and it'll automatically change to, you know, like a certain thing, so I can have it show Chrome, you know, when I'm on SkyVector, so you guys can see what I'm looking at. But then I'll inevitably forget to change it back, and then people will be like, all we see is SkyVector while I'm like coming in for a landing. So try to avoid that embarrassment. So here we have, so there's AWAS at C09, so we could check into that one if we want. 118175. So let me program that in. See if we can get that on COM2. 118. Oh, they fixed the... Oh, I think they fixed the... Oh, wait, is he the outer one? Oh, yeah, there's a bug. So when you... If you change the COM frequencies manually here, you can only move up. Oh, no, it's only move it down with the first number, the big number here. So if I'm on 118 and I go past it, you have to go all the way around again. So 118175. This is one of the reasons I like the click and drag, is if I'm doing a huge change. I know a lot of people don't like the new system, but in this case, like, look how fast I can change this dial. It's really nice. So 118175, and then turn on COM2 and see if we can hear that. Chris, thanks for the $4.99. Yeah, so that works. Thanks for the $5, man. No need to give me the $5, but I really appreciate it. Keep it up. Any chance you're gonna Flight Sim Expo in San Diego? Oh my God, I should go. You know, honestly, I haven't even looked at it. I'm like relatively new to the sim world. I only started simming, you know, when I was a kid. I played the older flight sims, but never seriously. Like back in the like early 90s, I'd say. But I haven't thought about it, but that sounds awesome. I should go. Flight Sim Expo, San Diego. I'm in California. I'm in the LA area, so I can get down there pretty easily to San Diego. When is it? September? Oh man, I should go. That's really cool. I'll check that out. Yeah, that sounds really fun. I should definitely, I'll look into it. That sounds great. I should go. Okay, I'm caught up in chat. I was rereading the liveries thing. It's rad. You'd lose your mind. Yeah, I'm like just thinking about it. I'm like, I have a giant stupid smile on my face right now because that sounds really fun. I'll just go to check out the Honeycomb Charlie pedals. That's actually what I'm probably most excited about, is the Charlies coming out. Honeycomb is just killing it. I'm like really excited. Oh, you're driving down from the bay? Awesome. Be so cool to fly down for it. Do you go for, is it, let me check this site. It's multiple days, right? I assume. Oh yeah, 24th to the 26th. Nice. In-person and online event. That's really cool. Oh wow, everybody's there. Where's the Microsoft Flight Sim logo? I see X-Plane. Prepared an X-Plane, but I don't see a Microsoft logo. Orbex, Navigraph. Awesome. Honeycomb, of course. Dude, I'm a huge fan of Honeycomb. They're just killing it. I love that their stuff is not like, it seems like it's priced really well too for the amount of features you get. It's pretty awesome. Town and Country Resort. 135 a night. This seems pretty fun. I'm totally down to go to this. Yeah, that'll be fun. I'll see if my girlfriend wants to go too. Thanks for letting me know. All right, where are we at? We're not 22 miles. Did we just pass maps? That's weird. Oh yeah, it doesn't count down, does it? This isn't live countdown of how many miles you have left. So I guess for this, you actually have to look up here to see how many miles you have left. So we're almost at Lucet. I'm just gonna start saying the waypoints wrong on purpose, just because everybody in the NXI video pointed out I kept saying that Custa or whatever instead of Cutsa. I said Custa like 50 times in the video. People probably just thought I was messing with them. but I legit have no idea how I did that. Made that mistake so many times. Fly the flight sim to San Diego? Yeah. I'll do the flight down to the expo, park in the that hotel parking lot for the expo. Just pretend like I'm there virtually. No, I would love to go in real life, in person. That sounds great. Honeycomb's fun, kept me from going VR. I did buy a VR headset and I've used it like 3 times in Flight Sim. I really haven't used it much at all. It's fun if you're flying VFR, sightseeing and stuff, it's fun, but yeah, I think I've commented about this on like some of my videos when people are talking about VR. It's just, to me, it doesn't seem as sharp as it should be for VR. Like other VR games I've played, just like random ones, you know, like I played like this Dungeons and Dragons one, which is fun, called Demio, and I played like Beat Saber and tried all these different VR games out when I got it, because it's just really exciting. There's something about the Microsoft Flight Sim one that for me, it seems really blurry. It's way less sharp than all the other VR titles I've tried, so it's really fun. It's really, really cool when you turn your head to look like when you're turning base or turning final and like actually moving your head and looking. It's amazing. Like it's really, really good for that. I love it. But yeah, having the honeycomb and stuff, and having you know, like the autopilot buttons if you have the Bravo, things like that are really great. And yeah, you obviously want to like look at that when you're using it. Look at the actual hardware that's in front of you. But I feel like I've had my best landings doing you know, doing it in VR, because it's just so convenient. You just turn your head, it feels really natural. Just hook up the yoke or the stick and the throttle. Like you can easily keep your hands on the stick and throttle, and then grab the mouse when you need to. So it's not too bad. I wish it was more crisp looking, even at like maxing the graphics out in VR. Well, oh, I noticed this bug too. This happens in the drone camera for some reason. Hopefully I'm sure they'll improve the VR over time. It's not as crisp as I would hope it would be. There we go. Hey Aviation, what's up? Anyway, yeah, the Expo, I'd be really excited to see the Honeycomb Charlie pedals. I actually splurged on the crosswinds, the MFG crosswinds, but I honestly don't really like them that much. The size of the foot, like the size of the pedal itself, is like a size 12 shoe or something. It's just gigantic. It's really kind of funny. I don't know what they base the pedal size off of, but it seems almost like comical how big they are. And the toes, like toe braking, it takes a lot of pressure. But pushing them left and right, like when you're using the rudder and pushing on them, is great. It's really smooth. But yeah, the toe braking is just a bit too much. I think it's just kind of crazy how hard it is to push them, even at the lowest spring setting. So I'm excited to see the honeycombs, just because they've done so well on the other on the Alpha and Bravo, that I'm just excited to see how they do. I'm sure they'll be great. All right, one more waypoint, EON, and then straight to the airport from here. All right, 41IS. Let's check the airport elevation again. Uh-oh, the number of the beast, 666 feet for the airport elevation. And then we have 18 and 36. So I'm gonna check the weather at that nearby weather station. So I just looked up this 124.850. Wait, is this the right one? Let me go back and check a second time. 118175. Okay, so it's active. So I was tuned into it still. So on COM 2, I can turn it on. We'll listen for the wind to figure out which runway we'll want to head to. So they have a 18 and a 36. Whoa, 18? Wind 207 at 18. Yikes. All right, so we want runway 18 then. So 20, so that's 200, 207. 180 is our better runway. So we'll plan for the 18 for the runway. 17, 17 knot winds. Let me turn on the winds here. See how they are right now. Oh yeah, we have a 21 knot headwind already. All right, so yeah, we'll be at runway. Oops, sinking the heading bug. Runway 18, so roughly 180. So we'll just have a left-hand turn to get to 180 to be southbound. Elevation 666, yeah. I'm canceling this entire flight. Sorry, you're not going to get your rubber. Oh, whoops, sorry, I didn't switch back. How long did I have that up? Whoops. This is why I need that automatic scene switcher thing turned on. Yeah, so 180 is going to be, we'll see how this landing goes. I mean, if there'll be a slight crosswind component, I guess. It's at 20 or 206. We'll be at roughly 180, so it'll be a little bit of a crosswind from our, I guess, right side. And then airport elevation is 666, so I'm just going to bug that on our autopilot. And I'll put it at 1600. So we'll want to drop 1,000 feet within a few miles of the airport. Let's see what we got. All right, we're still going to Motif. After Motif, we have 13 miles until the runway. So our ground speed is 168. If I multiply that by 5, we'll roughly descend at 800 feet per minute. Whoops. So 800 feet per minute, 13.8 nautical miles. So let's see if I remember how to do the math. What is it? 1 mile for every 60 knots, is that right? So 160 divided by 3, we're like 2.5 to 3 miles per minute. So let's just call it 3 miles to be safe. 14 miles divided by 3. We only need to lose 1,000 feet. So I mean, that's only going to take us like a minute. So I'm so low. I don't even know why I'm doing the math. We can pretty much wait until we're past Motif. We can wait until we're pretty much lined up to just go down, because I only went up to 2,500 feet. Used VFR when you first got the sim, just a novelty. Yeah, I used it a few times. I know there's so many people that love it. I was looking at a thread on the Microsoft Flight Sim, like the official forums. Somebody posted a thread saying like, hey, I'm taking a poll. How many of you use VR? I haven't checked it since like a few hours after it got posted, but it was like 60% or something of people said they had VR. I'm sure the numbers changed. I didn't check back in on it, but a lot of people were saying that they had VR, and people just love it. For VFR, it's great. I tried it a little for IFR. It's definitely tricky. Hey, iDoc Joe, what's up? PP certified? What's PP certified? Private pilot? I do not fly in real life at all. I'm just an armchair captain kind of guy. So far, we'll see how it goes. I ride the coattails of my partner who has her private pilot's license. She got it in December. And she's working on her instrument trading right now. But I talk her ear off about flying, and that's why I started simming. I started doing flight sim last year. I've said that 1,000 times, but for anyone who hasn't heard the spiel before, that's why I got into simming. It's fine as long as you don't have to do very much in the cockpit. Yeah. Maybe when they advance it. Yeah, I just want it to look a little bit better. Like there's some weird like blurriness that happens. I'm using the Valve Index. The refresh rate on that's really good. Yeah, I know it's different per person, and if you're using like the Microsoft stuff or the Open VR stuff or Steam VR, I know there are differences there. So maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's a Steam VR thing. Oh yeah, this is definitely some elevator. This is some chill music we got going. It's like a flute in the background. Beautiful. All right, so we're at 20 miles from Motif. Once we get to Motif, that's our last fix before the runway. The wind is kind of gnarly. There's like a 17 knot wind at the nearest weather station that we checked on the ATIS, or sorry, it's an AWAS actually, that we checked on our COM2 radio here. So we're gonna line up for runway 18. We'll mostly have a direct headwind. There'll be a little crosswind, like 20 degrees to our right. There'll be a little crosswind. See how it goes. Might be kind of gnarly. And we're dropping off rubber. Polymers for rubber. Some of these are always really funny, like what you're taking. It's never, I don't know if it ever just says like you're transporting new smartphones. I feel like it's always like some very specific thing. Like this. Can you use third-party aircraft with Skypark? Yes. You can use any plane that you want with Skypark. It doesn't do any kind of check on what plane you're flying. Unlike NeoFly and On Air Company, you just choose whatever you want. All it gives you is a recommendation up here for what type of plane to fly. So here you can see it recommends a piston. So I chose the Grand Caravan. It's a little sketchy of a choice because the runway is only 1,400 feet, grass strip for the landing. That's a little below the landing roll for the 208B for the Grand Caravan. So we'll see how it goes. I knew that going in. I was just like, I just said screw it and decided to do it anyway. Stop hating on my VR. It's great. It's just, I think it's one of those situations where it matters your headset, it matters how much tweaking you've done. I haven't done any tweaking to my VR myself. I just like put it on the default settings. Sometimes I'll raise them up a bit and just go. I don't really want to sit there customizing my settings. I just want to fly, so have my feet on the brakes, yeah. We'll definitely go full flaps. I'll see if I can like get a good stall in before good stall landing going to be as slow as possible. These grass strip ones can definitely be tricky though, just because you never know what kind of obstacles are around them. This looks like pretty much in the open, which is nice. So we have these little photos that they show, which is nice on Skypark. So we have this little aerial photo of each runway. So it's this little grass strip right in here, I guess. So I'll try to look for these landmarks, these two darker colored fields, and then these two roads here. So we'll see how it goes. You can always go around. I'm not gonna sing it. I know you're singing it in your head with the music notes, but I'm not gonna sing song that. Don't hate it. I use it sometimes mostly on a monitor since I have a hard time doing anything too complex in VR. Yeah, I think part of it's like, that's why I'm such a big fan of autopilot. I know like just throwing on autopilot can be really boring, but if you're looking up the weather, if you're doing VATSIM, like, you know, autopilot is great because, like my understanding of it in the real world is like, you know, it's there to take your mind off certain things so your brain isn't taxed too much, right? So I'm not embarrassed about using a lot of autopilot. But I think it's really helpful for, you know, Xbox players who are playing on a controller and they want to do a more complicated flight, do some procedures. Like hand flying that stuff is so hard with a yoke or a stick. Imagine doing it on a, you know, on a controller, an Xbox controller. And the same goes for VR. Like it can be really challenging to manipulate the dials, the knobs and stuff in VR with a mouse, you know, so whatever you can do to make it easier, I think you should do. Whatever you can do to simplify your flight in the flight sim, I think is good. There's just only so much to do at once before it just gets like really draining, you know? Laps 30, doors open. I wish you could open the doors on this. Okay, we're almost at Motif. All right, 6 miles until Motif. And the runway is 18 as a 180 heading, so we're gonna swing a little north of the airport. So I'm just gonna sync my heading bug. It'll turn us a little when we pass Motif, but we're gonna sync our heading bug, and then I'll just use it to bring us a little more north. We'll find the fields, slow down, and then airport elevation's at 670. It's at 666. It'll only take us 2 minutes to descend down to that altitude. A little more than 2 minutes at 800 feet per minute. A lot of tweaking to get my Reverb G2 looking and running well. You get used to the sharpness loss after you fly more. Oh yeah, hard time going back to track IR. I didn't try, what's the name of the one that, like that more advanced head tracking system you can buy? You have to like set up little sensors and I forget what that one's called. I tried, is that track IR? I tried a free one. It was really awkward to move your head while looking at the screen. It was really weird for me, so I didn't like it that much. So I just stick to the monitor. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit much. All right, let's check the weather one more time on COM 2. Listen if the wind's changed. And then we'll update the altimeter too.
Wind 207 at 18. Visibility tree. Sky condition clear. Temperature 28C dew point.
All right, so wind is the same. 2985. All right. So I use COM 2 for that. If you guys haven't done that before, like I looked up the frequency on SkyVector for this specific airport. There's not a weather station at the airport itself, but it tells you the nearest one. So I just put in that frequency on COM 2. So you can move down to COM 2 like this by pushing this button. And then I dialed it in, swapped it over, and then you can turn on COM 2 over here. So that's how you can, you know, leave COM 1 on your ATC stuff and then use COM 2 to monitor ATIS. It's one way to do it. So the winds are, it was like, basically the winds are at like 200 at like 17 or 18 knots, I think it said. So we're gonna set up for runway 18 since that's most into the wind. So it's closest to 20 is 18. And then we'll have like a huge headwind. We'll see how it goes. All right, so the G1000 suspended our flight plan because that's our last waypoint. So that means it's not gonna sequence us anywhere after this automatically. So if you're doing IFR and you have a procedure loaded in, you may have waypoints after this, which would be like your missed approach waypoints. So that's why it puts it in suspend mode. Basically, you would hit suspend down here. Oh, maybe it's not working because I don't have an approach in, but this OBS button right here turns to a suspend button. So you could basically execute your missed approach. If you go missed, you would hit this and it would say suspend to re-enable the GPS to go on to the next waypoint. So it basically just, yeah, it suspends it. Because if you do your landing, you won't need another waypoint. So you basically have to tell it, hey, sequence to the next waypoint. I need you to go after the runway, or after the arrival airport waypoint. But in this case, I don't have an approach. We're just doing visual. All right, I'm gonna sync the heading bug by pushing it and then going into heading mode. And then I'm gonna just roll the heading bug a little bit to the right because I wanna get a little more north of the airport. And I'm gonna start our descent down. We're just gonna go down 1,000 feet for now. Oops, heading mode, there we go. We're gonna go down 1,000 feet and I'll pull back on my throttle. What is Skypark? Yeah, it's similar to NeoFly, similar to, wow, we got some rain coming up here. Similar to NeoFly and On Air Company and those, just that it is a career mod. Is that a tower right in front of us? Oh yeah. There's like a big antenna or something right in front of us. Or what is that? Windmills? Yeah, wind turbines. I'm gonna lower our rated descent then. I do have damage turned on. Skypark is basically, it's more casual and it has a better user interface. You just use it through this Skypad. It's like a fake iPad kind of thing, fake tablet. It's really easy to use. You can pick any plane you want. You can easily like teleport around the world. It has like, it's basically just a less hardcore career mode that I just like using a lot. When I don't feel like taking it more seriously with fuel and weight management and all that stuff, I'll do Skypark. So it's really easy to get into. I think it's like, yeah, I think it's one of the better ones. All right, I'm gonna stop descending because this is a little nuts right now. We're just gonna hold here. It said our highest obstacle was 800 feet, which is what Skypark said, but I don't think it took these into account because we should be much higher than we are right now. We should not be this low to the turbines. But yeah, I would check out, if you've never used a career mode mod before, I would start with NeoFly because it's free. But it is a little harder to use. It's got that like spreadsheet looking interface, kind of like On Air Company does. But it's free, so you can just check it out. You know, it's just for Microsoft Flight Sim, and it has a really good variety of missions. On Air Company is like the other end of the spectrum. Like from this, it's, you know, you have to do fuel and weight management and stuff. Skypark is the most casual, but that's why I like it. It's just really easy to pick up and do a few flights with any plane that you want. But it doesn't do the fuel and weight management. Skypark is like $35 or so through Orbex. It's a one-time cost. NeoFly is free with optional paid add-ons. And On Air Company is a subscription. It's like 35 bucks a year. If you do On Air Company, it's like more expensive if you do 1 month at a time. But it's reasonable if you do a year. Like $35 a year comes out to like, you know, $3, $2.50 or $3 a month. So it's a lot more. It's not as expensive as it seems, I guess. You get an entire year for 35 bucks. It's pretty nice. And it's the most hardcore one. You can do like virtual airlines and all sorts of stuff like that. It's pretty crazy. Remember we listened to the weather and it said that the sky was clear. So this is just, you know, this is not VFR flying right now. All right, I'm gonna slow us down. We need to find this airport. I'm gonna zoom in over here. And on the heading bug, I'm going to turn our heading bug to 180 because that'll be roughly the runway heading because it's runway 18, so you tack on a 0 there. All right, we're pretty low as well. So we're about 800 feet. AGL, we need to be a little bit higher than this. All right, and the runway is out here somewhere. I'm just going to overfly it first. I'm gonna find where this is. It's a grass strip. And I definitely waited too long because we're gonna not be at a 180 for this, but I'll fly around once we find it. So it's like at the intersection of, this is hard because there's a lot of roads here that just intersect like this, so. This could be it right below us. It's only supposed to be a 1,600 foot grass strip. So I'm using this smart camera. This is it right there. We're just flying over it right now. All right, so we're flying over it. So I'm gonna do like a 360. Get around the other side of it. We want to land facing south because the wind is crazy. Do they have illegal shady cargo? They do on Skypark. Yeah, there's like basically there's 3 companies you fly for in Skypark, and one of them is called the Coyotes. So it has missions where you fly like counterfeit GeForce, you know, you fly like counterfeit NVIDIA video cards and stuff like that. But generally, there's only kind of like 2 mission types in a way. There's just cargo missions. It's pretty much everything. There aren't any passenger missions. I hope they add that stuff later. And then NeoFly definitely has the most variety of mission types, for sure. And then they have like tours and stuff. They do a lot of like editorial, like handcrafted routes. So they'll bring you through like the fjords in Norway or Iceland or something like that. And then they'll have ones. They had like this rum tasting tour that was all about flying from between rum creating or rum producing countries in the Caribbean. So there's a lot of things like that where it's more like a experience, like handcrafted things, in addition to the like computer generated routes. So they have both. But yeah, if you want a huge variety in mission types, I think Neofly is the best one to do. They have the coolest types of missions, like the medical ones. They have the search and rescue. They have the banner towing. They have the nighttime only secret passenger missions. So there's a lot of different ones with On Air Company. Very few crash to desktops. Thank God. Sorry you're having issues. Huge issues. Check not only your community folder. I assume you're on PC, but don't only look at your community folder plugins, because there can be official marketplace plugins that also cause the crashes. I was getting some crashes. I went through and deleted a bunch of custom airports I downloaded through the marketplace, enhanced airport graphics, the trees add-on. I deleted all that stuff, and then mine was okay. It's annoying to have to go through it like every major sim update, but that's just how it is right now. This is not the clear skies that we thought we were going to get, according to the AWAS. Very wrong. You can use Skypark to align yourself with the runway. Oh, I didn't look at the magnetic heading of the runway, but it says it's runway 180, so I'm just going to go generally towards 180. And this was not the weather we were expecting. I do cheat a bit with the smart cam. I'll hit a button to use the smart cam to find these runways, because they can be really hard to find. All right, I'm slowing down, going around to that southerly heading. I'm gonna get a notch of flaps out too, just get us real slow here. Having crashes with nothing in community. Yeah, so also check your content manager, like the official plugins, not just community. It's annoying, but even, an official mod, like the ones in the marketplace, at the end of the day, they're still mods that are managed by a third-party dev. So they can crash it just the same as a community mod. Unfortunately. It's just code either way. It's a mod no matter what, no matter where you get it from. So yeah, I would check that out too. Smart camera will look at like a POI. In this case, it's our landing runway. So when you hit it, it automatically moves the camera to it. So you can see it automatically looks over at the runway. This is not calm weather. This is, we got tricked. Is this the runway? I guess this is it right here. We got a huge headwind. It looks like it's a little like curved almost. This is a road, isn't it? Is this a runway? What? This looks like a road. That's not the runway. We're gonna land in the grass. Yeah, that's not the runway at all. Abort. Is this the runway? I'm so confused. We're still too far off. 666 airfield. Yeah, I was way too early. The runway's up here. So I should look at my distance, right? There's the runway. Past that tree, it looks like. It looks like it's right past that tree. I don't think this first part is the runway. I think it's right after that tree. These are so hard to find. The warning signs were there, yeah. Never landed an airfield with an elevation of 666. Okay, yeah, I think it's right there past this tree. We're really slow because this headwind is crazy. Oh man, yeah, the wind. I'm gonna stall. I'm kind of slipping a little. What? No! The tree. Rest in peace. Why are there so many people watching this crash? Guys, please disconnect. So I normally have damage turned off, but I did an on-air mission before this and it requires damage on. Feels bad. Feels bad, man. I hit the wingtip hit that tree, I guess, which is actually surprising. I wasn't thinking anything of it because usually the wing will just go through the trees in Microsoft Flight Sim. Like the only thing you can really collide with is buildings. So I'm actually surprised that it clipped the tree there. Sorry for the person that wanted to get their hard rubber. No hard rubber today. Looks like the music stopped again. What's going on with it? I'm trying this new copyright-free music site and it just keeps stopping. Oh, there's only like 10 songs? What is going on here? It has music recommended for your channel. I don't know how it recommends them, but we'll see. Wow, that was embarrassing. Oh. Wow, this is what was recommended. I guess it knows a lot about the vibe on this channel. Oh man. All right, this is more chill. There we go. Dance party. Plane crashes are better than game crashes. Yeah, if you guys are having crashes, like I had to delete a bunch. I had to go here into Content Manager and I had to remove a bunch of things here. Here are the ones. Oh, did I remove the Husky? I don't remember removing the Husky, but I got rid of like a lot of the paid landmarks and stuff I had installed. So like Chicago, Burbank, San Diego. I got rid of a few of the planes I don't really fly. This one, this Bijan Trees one has caused crashes in a few of the updates for me. So I haven't had this in for a bit. This is the marketplace version. So yeah, actually the packages got there, you know, they got there, just the pilot didn't. I'm sure they're there somewhere. So I would, if you guys are still getting crashes, I would really go into your content manager. Obviously delete the community mods in your community folder, but also these can cause crashes. They're just plugins that you don't install through, you know, unzipping them yourselves. It's the same thing. There's still plugins or mods, you know, that are being installed. So yeah, I would try deleting a few things here and trying to load in a few times as you delete a bunch of things and see if it works for you. Because that was a problem for me. I had my community folder empty, so I deleted a bunch of stuff there. All right, let's try another one. That was. I should turn damage off. I don't know. Damage on's kind of funny though when that happens. I usually have damage off because it'll just really. You could just pull up on the yoke or accidentally hit your pitch trim or something, and it'll just black screen. It'll just end the game. So usually I have it off, and it's kind of fun when you see that when you like hit something, you have the plane like kind of, you know, ragdoll everywhere. Got there in the burning rubble. Yep. No paid content. That's so weird. I don't have any. I don't have any recommendations other than that. But there are crashes like they. Oh, sorry. I do have one more recommendation. Try turning off the online features and see if that helps. Try just going into options, general, and then under data. Under here, try turning off. I was crashing at certain airports with photogrammetry turned on. You could turn all this stuff off here as a test and see if you can load in, and then one at a time turn these individual ones on to see what works for you. I had a problem when I was crashing at certain airports with photogrammetry on. I reproduced it. I crashed 5 times in a row, loading in at the same airport with the same plane. Then I turned this off and then I could load in. So I would give that a shot. Use the TBM, the murdered out. Oh, yeah, the TBM livery is great. If you guys haven't looked at all the new stock liveries, there's a lot of new ones included that came with the sim update. So that one I was flying was the Grand Caravans, but yeah, here's the blacked out one. So it's just called like livery 1. Those are the ones that were just added. So a lot of the stock planes will have these. So here's the blacked out TBM as a new one. These aren't third party, these are built in. These are stock now. And then the DA62 has a really cool one that I used in one of the last videos I did. So there's another black one. And it's got like little, you can preview these if you choose it from here, go to your profile and then to the hangar. And then you can see the livery that you have. And you can also change them in here too. But this one's pretty cool. It has like these like lines all over it. It looks really neat. Use the TBM. Oh yeah. NVIDIA card. Studio driver. There's just a lot of things you can try. I mean, it just sucks because obviously we shouldn't all be troubleshooting all these crashes. It's just the reality of it right now, which is a pain. Let's see which one? The Cirrus has I mean, most of the stock planes have new liveries. So the Cirrus has like this one with like flowers on the wings, I think. Livery 1. Yeah, it has like little flowers. It's like white with little like, it's got like pink and little flower decals on the wings. It's kind of cool. Dragon, what's up, man? What else do we got? The Cub, what was it? The X Cub or the Cap 10 has this one was in the trailer for the Xbox release. I think it's the Cap 10. It has one with like the eyeballs on the wings, like the owl eyes or whatever they are. Yeah, this one. This one's really cool looking. This is the Robin Cap 10. Yeah, I have the reflections on. I think I have them on ultra or high, whatever the top is. There's just a lot of really, really cool ones. Turn that piano down. What else? I'll just look at a couple more, then I'll do another flight. Didn't the X Cub? I think the Cub. It's pretty much all of them, but there's just some of them are just really cool. Okay, here's the X Cub one. Even the Cessna 172 has a new one that's just like this nice blue color, like a kind of a royal blue for the 172, kind of like this blue. Good Dragon, nice to see you, man. Just a chill Sunday. What else? Savage Cub. I think they pretty much all have a new one. No, they're like red, white, and blue looking one. And then, oh, the Pits. I think that the last one I'll look at is the Pits. I think the Pits has like 2 new ones. Just because they were doing a lot of aerial kind of stuff in the Xbox trailer. So, yeah, there's the Rufus. So I think they showed this one in the Xbox trailer too. It's got like dog bones on the wings and stuff. And then this yellow one too. Going from FSX Ultra to this is amazing. It's beautiful. Yeah, it looks so good. Hey Trucky, what's up? Found your tutorials excellent after sitting through a bunch. Thanks a lot. No problem, dude. Appreciate it. Looking forward to new content, checking out other stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty slow at making them. I know some people asked for like a G3X tutorial. And I want to do one comparing, because we talk about it all the time with the differences between like Skypark and On Air Company and Neoflight. I think I'll make a video just comparing those three, maybe showing an example of each of them or something. I have to be like really excited to make a video, so I've gone like weeks and weeks at a time without making one before, so I need to improve. All right, let's do another flight here. Let's crash into another tree. I've also been trying to learn the CJ4 in my spare time. The working title CJ4 is pretty cool. It's definitely out of my wheelhouse like the jets, but it's pretty fun. Let's try to do an even shorter one. Maybe I can find like a less than 100-mile one. Maybe with some better weather, hopefully. 172 looks good. Just finished a flight. Oh yeah, the new, the blue on the 172 is pretty sweet, the livery. So if you guys have never used Skypark, yeah, this is what the interface looks like. It's just really easy to use compared to some of the other ones. And it's not very strict. They're like little relocation fees. So this shows where my pilot is in the middle of these rings. And then that's how much it'll cost to relocate to another area. And it's all instant. There's no like waiting. And you can also fly any plane that you want for anything. It'll just recommend a type of plane for you. And you can like filter by type of plane. So I could say like, oh, I want to fly a piston. So choose that. You can require ILS if you want, or runway lighting. So you don't, if you're flying at night, and you can customize the weather and the time of day. None of that's locked down in Skypark. And then there's also advanced filters. So you can like filter by runway length and how far you want to fly. So I can put in like, 100-mile max. And then there's either blue routes or gold routes. The blue ones are like computer generated. So it's just a computer generated route. And then there's gold routes, which are kind of like the editorialized routes. I don't use VATSIM, but at the end of last year, I used Pilot Edge for a few months to learn just how to talk to ATC. And I thought it was really good. I do want to use VATSIM again. I have a long-term goal to get into VATSIM and use it for my longer videos. And I know a lot of people are interested in VATSIM, so I want to do some stuff on that too, like just setting it up and getting started. But in general, I recommend Pilot Edge to people. It is a paid subscription, but in my opinion, if you can afford like $20 to do it 1 or 2 months, it's like $20 a month. It's really good because their controllers are on 15 hours a day. So it's a good way to learn. Like every time you connect to it, you'll have 3 controllers online. Instead of with VATSIM, it's really hit or miss when they're on and what locations they're in. So Pilot Edge is good. And they have tutorials and YouTube videos on their tutorials, like a whole guide. And you do like what are called ratings. So you'll do like the basic ratings and they basically test. It's basically a test for your flight and they'll tell you if you pass or fail. And if you fail, you just try again the next day or whatever. So I had a really good experience with it, so I always recommend it. But it is like $20. But I think it takes a lot of the stress out of doing VATSIM. Pilot Edge is there to like, they both exist to learn on, but because Pilot Edge has those ratings and those tutorials, I feel like it's like more of a expectation that you're training, on Pilot Edge. All right, here's a short one. Let's do the 172. Why not? KFFL to KBRL. I feel like I haven't used the 172 for a bit. And then we'll use the new livery. So here's the new blue livery. Pretty sweet looking. I like it. FFL to BRL. All right. 46 miles. Just a direct route, I guess. So we can just do GPS. I wonder why, what's weird is it takes, GPS direct shows, it shows a few waypoints for some reason. That's weird. Like it's doing the opposite. Direct is not going direct. IFR is going direct. Huh. Let's do direct. I'm just curious what's gonna happen. And we got lightning storms. Sweet. All right, so we're going KFFL to KBRL. Loading in at the gate. It says highest obstacle is 800 feet. Cereal groats, meal, and pellets. Whatever that stuff is. So here, this is where you see the fee. So since we're not at our current airport, we're like a little ways away, it transports us, we pay a fee to transport. And that's it, you just click it and you're like good to go. And then here we can see where we're taking off from. And where we're landing has an ILS. Oh yeah, I checked ILS, didn't I? So it guarantees that we have an ILS on our approach. Good God. Ah, yes. Just a fighter jet here at this little tiny airport. Makes sense. All right, assisted checklist. If you guys haven't used these, I use these all the time. But you can turn on the assisted checklist in the assistance options right here. Assistance, it's under piloting. That's the only reason mine says custom is here. Assisted checklist is on. So it gives you the option to hit these autocomplete page buttons and it'll run through the checklist for you to get the plane started. Just a little time saver if you don't want to do it yourself. I guess we're flying IFR. We don't really have an option. But with this, we can't file IFR with ATC. I chose VFR, right? Yeah, so you can't, with the G1000 NXI, you cannot file the IFR flight plan. We'll just pretend like we did though.
STBY bat switch.
Some of these get stuck. If they get stuck, you can just hit this autocomplete button twice, force finish, and then hit the yellow button again. All right, and we're using GPS. So we switch over to GPS. Let's see, do we have ATIS here? We do. Check the weather.
Kilo Foxtrot Lima automated weather observation 2300 Zulu. Wind 190 and 19er.
Oh my God, 19 knot winds.
Sky condition, ceiling 1,000 feet overcast. Temperature 27C dew point, 10C altimeter 2981.
2981 for the altimeter.
Kilo
There we go.
Foxtrot Lima automated weather observation 2300 Zulu. Wind 190 and 19er. Visibility 10 and heavy rain.
All right, so the winds are at 19 knots out of a direction of 190, so I think there's a runway. Okay, yeah. So it just said taxi. We're taxiing to runway 18. So yeah, we're always take off and land into the wind. So we're doing 18. Then I'll do the taxi list here as well. The Cessna 172 is nice because it has complete checklists for like everything. They even have like run up, takeoff. You can see they have like the whole thing, even after landing and parking. So it's really nice to have all of them available. You can have it do the whole run up. So it'll check the magnetos and all that kind of stuff. All the nerdy technical stuff. that real pilots do. What rudder pedal? Check the field elevation. Oh yeah. We do need to make sure it's not 666. It's 793. All right. We're not going to crash this time and do a tree. Luck is on our side because the elevation is not 666. Good point, Chris. Gotta check that. What rudder pedals? I have the crosswinds, the MFG crosswinds. They're pretty expensive, but I can't say I would recommend them personally. They're really smooth when you push on them, but the toe braking takes a lot of pressure, and the size of the pedal itself is really big. It's kind of funny how big they are. So if you don't need rudder pedals right now, I would wait for the honeycomb ones to come out. People really like the crosswinds, but I just think and when you push them, they're really smooth. Like you can be really precise with them. The toe braking pressure is just crazy. I even have it at the lowest spring setting. And I think it's kind of nuts just how big. I feel like I need to put shoes on. I don't, but yeah, I feel like it's like a size 12 shoe for the how big the actual pedals are. It's kind of crazy. The screenshots, or sorry, the photos I've seen of the honeycomb Charlies look really good. They look like smaller, like more realistic looking sizes for the pedals, at least for GA planes. Like, see how like these are pretty small. Like you're not going to fit your entire foot on the top pedal part here. You can see this. It's just like, you know, it looks like it's like 6 inches or something at the top part, not like a foot. So, but I mean, the quality of the crosswinds is really good. I just, you know, it's just a personal thing. I just don't like how hard it is to push the toe brakes on them. So it didn't look like we got a proper startup somehow. Oh, did I not do the after starting engine? No, I thought I did this. It's just the avionics switches aren't on. That's all. What are my settings in game? For the pedals, I just have the default settings on. I haven't customized the settings for my rudder pedals at all. So they're on the default, like curves or whatever for the sensitivity. And then my graphic settings pretty much are on the high-end preset with pretty much everything turned to ultra. So anything that was set to high, I turned to ultra. But all the other things like the sliders, I left those alone. I could probably use ultra settings, but sometimes I'm in like LA area and stuff like that, and I just don't want to deal with the lower frame rates there. They are a lot better since the update though. Sorry, dude, I'm gonna have to run you over. Oh, that was a woman. Sorry, miss, I'm gonna have to run you over. Does Skypark have more of a gradual progression? It doesn't have as much of a progression as far as, it doesn't have the kind of progression the other ones have. Like you don't like level up. You do level up a little, but you don't really unlock anything. It's much more casual. You don't really have to worry about your money. You don't manage a fleet of which planes you have. You can instantly teleport for like a fee whenever you want to. So it's much more casual. That's the plus and minus of it, is that it's more casual. But so if you want something more hardcore where it feels more realistic, like you only have the planes that you own and stuff like that, then you should definitely do Neofly or On Air Company. All right, so we're doing runway 18, which is going to be facing this direction. So we need to go to the left. The windsock tells us where to go anyway. It's pointing left, so we go to the runway that starts in that direction. Just go where the windsock says to go. You have no rudder pedals. Use a 15-year-old cheap flight stick and have to twist it. Yeah, that's really difficult. It's definitely tricky to do that when you're doing all 3 axes on the stick. I started with the Logitech rudder pedals, like the cheaper ones. I wouldn't recommend those. If if you can wait for the honeycomb ones, I would wait for them. Problem is they're going to be in high demand, so you'll have to get pretty lucky with getting them ordered when they come out. But the Logitech ones, the problem with those are they have a big bump you have to get over when you first start putting pressure on the pedal. There's basically a ton of resistance, and then they suddenly start moving, and that's really hard to deal with. Like I would actually prefer twisting my rudder stick instead of using the Logitech pedals. Dude, where is it taking me here? We're gonna have to go off-roading a little bit. I don't know what's going on. What is this doing in the middle of the... Like maybe this is legit, but... Your problem with the Neofly is the loans. Yeah, On Air Company is similar. They have a few game types basically. Like the rules are different for each like game type or server that you're on. So it's up to you which one you do. Like I don't do any of the... You can almost think of On Air. On Air basically has like a tycoon mode built into it that you can use if you want to or not. So you can like build FBOs, you can hire AI pilots and manage it, almost like you're playing like Football Manager or something. It has all of that stuff too. Or you can fly it. You can fly yourself and run an airliner of your own. You can run an airliner with other human pilots as well. So it has all of that stuff, which I think is why... Sorry, bumped the mic, which is why it has like that subscription cost. Is there's a ton of stuff. Like you can actually just do it through a web browser with a lot of stuff too, if you're just managing it, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, these taxiways, I don't really know what's going on. I play On Air Company just as a solo pilot though. I don't really do any of the like tycoon style stuff, you know. I can't tell if this is one of you guys or not because it doesn't show multiplayer traffic. It's like not showing it on the VFR map right now. This is we're just off-roading here. Logitech takes some getting used to. Have to deal with it until the honeycombs. Yeah, that bump kind of put me off of them. I used them while I could. I have like, I don't know if you can hear this tapping. Like apparently my neighbor is just banging on the wall or something right now. Doesn't sound like a hammer. It sounds like somebody's like tapping. Dude, where is this runway? What is going on? So I lost the taxiway lights. We've been taxiing forever. What's going on? How big is this airport? This has been like an hour of taxiing. I'm just gonna break the speed limits and just get over there. This is taking forever. Sorry, guys. Oh, the extra is you? Oh, Red Bull livery. Yeah, I turned all the liveries off. I uninstalled them. Honestly, I don't really use them that much. Especially since they're adding more stock ones. I've stopped using them as much, but just doing it to avoid the crashes. All right, 1836. How long is this runway? This seems like we were taxiing forever. We'll see if we can do not a full-length takeoff here. I don't think we need it. I mean, we're in the 172. We can take off on a dime. Yeah, we're just gonna drive. Yeah, we're just gonna drive. We're not even gonna fly. It did feel like that. All right, we rotate at 55. Some crazy, there's supposed to be like 18 knot headwind right now. All right, flaps coming up. which honeycomb pedals are you waiting for? What makes them good? They're called the Charlies. So Honeycomb made a yoke first called the Alpha, throttle quadrant called the Bravo, and they announced the rudder pedals are going to be called the Charlies, or the Charlie. So there's some photos like on their Instagram and stuff showing them. So I don't know when they're going to come out. I hope it's by the end of the year. Their stuff's in really high demand though, and I just assume they're going to be good because their other products are great. They're all at the, I think both the Alpha and the Bravo are $250 US. So I have the Alpha and the Bravo, and I love both of them. I don't really use the Alpha much, just because I always have my microphone set up and stuff like that. So I don't want it to get in the way, but the Alpha is really nice. So is the Bravo. So I can only just assume, you know, that the Charlie is also going to be amazing. All right, we need to get above these clouds. This is crazy. Turn autopilot on and then get it set up here. Flight level change. Yeah, the throttle quadrant is great. I'm actually not using mine today because I'm sending it back. I just boxed it up this morning because they're replacing it just because one of the switches on mine didn't work. I didn't realize it for a long time because I didn't assign all the switches, but one of the switches was defective, so it just doesn't register when I click it up or down. And same with one of the levers. It actually has six levers that you can assign to like the engines and the props, and you know, you can use it in a twin or in a single engine or in an airliner. It has like replacement handles for all that stuff. It's amazing. But yeah, I had a couple of the things didn't work, so I'm gonna send that back tomorrow. So right now I'm just using my side stick and my rudder pedals. Man, the weather is so nasty. We're just gonna have bad weather at this. I'm sure it'll still be this crappy when we get to our destination. Let's see. So we're going here to Iowa, KBRL, but this one has an ILS. This weather is so bad. I should just use the ILS to be safe. And the weather wasn't reliable for the last time we checked it. When we checked the weather. At the last airport, it said it was clear, and it was definitely raining. So in this case, I think we should use the ILS as long as the weather is right for it. If the winds are favorable, we should use the ILS. Maybe even use it. I mean, it's a 6,000 foot runway, so even if we have a tailwind for the landing, it's not a big deal. All right, and we're just climbing up above these two layers of clouds here. So you can tell how insane the wind is right now, this crosswind, because if you had no wind and third person mode like this, the tail would be straight. So this is basically showing how we're crabbed into the wind to compensate for it, to stay on our heading or our proper our course. So it's pretty gnarly. We can turn the wind on here. It's got to be like a 20 knot crosswind or something. 31 knot crosswind. It's horrible. I guess we can turn our transponder on. It's probably a good idea. And then because I'm using the mod, the NXI, you cannot ask for IFR clearance once you're loaded in. The only way to do it is through if you plan an IFR route with a world map. Actually, I can only request flight following. So if you do want to use, I mean, air traffic control's all over the place right now because of the altitude bug. But if you still wanted to use it, just do your planning in the world map for now. If you're using the NXI, ground speed 91 knots. Yeah, we have a 4 knot headwind and a 34 knot crosswind. So I guess, you know, if I was trying to be more realistic, I guess we would probably we could consider like tacking basically, right? You would turn into the crosswind, so we get a nice tailwind for a little bit and not fly with a crosswind the entire time. I mean, there's no way that 172 is like even, there's no way it's recommended to fly in a crosswind like this. It's like obviously unrealistic. Look at this weather though. This is on live weather right now. It's insane. This is really cool looking. Everything will be fine. We're just headed to those clouds up there. This will just be fine. No big deal. Lovely weather. Yeah, in real life, terrifying weather. In the sim, quote unquote, lovely weather. All right, I'm gonna lean our mixture a little. We're almost at 5,000 feet. So I'm just gonna pull out the mixture with my mouse wheel and maximize our RPMs. 2550, 2560, 2550. All right, we can get 2560. There we go. And I think we can go up. Let's go up to, let's see, we're flying a little bit westbound, so we can go to 6,500. That'd be a legit VFR altitude. VFR, you put 500 on the end of your altitude. And if you're flying east, you go odd. East is odd, west is even. So 6,500 is a legit VFR altitude. Here, this is crazy. Looks awesome. Yeah, 29 knots. And outside air temperature 16 degrees. Oops, my landing light should be on. Pitot heat we're good on because it's hot out. Yes, this is normal. Everything is okay. What are we transporting again? Cereal groats? What is a cereal groat? I don't know. That's what we're transporting. It's very important. I think no matter what, maybe we should just take the ILS. I don't know if I trust the weather reports. Let's look up KBRL. So we can actually does nearest work here? Actually, this is not going to work because there's only one page on the MFD. In the stock G1000 and like in a real one, you can turn this FMS knob, this big knob, to get different pages, and one of them is like airport info or waypoint info. So you could turn it and get information on a specific waypoint. So for example, our arrival airport would be a waypoint, and we could get frequencies like for ATIS right there within the sim. But in the NXI, this add-on, you can't do that yet. So I'll just look it up on SkyVector for KBRL. Yeah, so if I go to SkyVector, whoops. I'm looking at the airport page on SkyVector right now. Sorry, you can't see it, but it gives us a weather frequency near the top of the page. And it said there's an ASOS, so that's our automated weather system, 118.025. So we can try to listen to that. 118, whoops, let's use COM too. 118.025. And now that it's on COM2, you can just hit COM2 to enable it over here and listen. And that's without turning off COM1, both at once. 20 knot wind at 190. Heavy rain. 1,000 feet, that's AGL overcast. 2981. So same altimeter setting. If we land using the ILS, we'll have a 20-ish knot tailwind, which sounds horrible, but it's a 6,000 foot runway. We'll come in fast, but we have a lot of runway to deal with. And it said the clouds are overcast at 1,000 feet. So cloud reports are AGL, not MSL. So that's 1,000 feet from the ground, not based on our altimeter setting or MSL. So 1,000 feet overcast. ILS gets us roughly down to 200 feet AGL. So that gives us an 800 foot margin there. So it's probably fine. It'll be fine on the ILS, but visually, if we're flying visually, our traffic pattern altitude is generally, in a small plane like this, 1,000 feet AGL. So it would be very unlikely that we would land here visually, because we would be in that layer of that overcast layer at 1,000 feet AGL. So we wouldn't be able to see the runway. So that would be really sketchy. I actually don't even know technically. I mean, what you would try to do is get under that layer before you get to the airport, but I'm just trying to think real world how you would do this. I'm not a real world pilot, but I like to think through this stuff. So to get there, like, you know, you would have to be under the clouds so you had a visual of it if we're actually in VFR, flying VFR. But the traffic pattern altitude is generally 1,000 AGL. So you can't be at the correct traffic pattern altitude without being in the clouds, which would make it so you're not flying visually. You would be an IMC. So I don't think you could even technically land there with the clouds at that level. They would have to be higher up, in which case you would descend through a hole in the clouds. We would like spiral down through this or something, or some huge opening if we could find one. But you know, you just wouldn't be flying this anyway unless you're in like a 747 or something. You'd still be dodging the weather as much as you could. But anyway, the winds are, if we do the ILS, we'll have a tailwind, but I think we should do it. I think technically we would do it because we can't fly visually. So I can select the ILS here, the ILS for 3.6. So the winds are at around 180, the opposite of this. So we'll have a tailwind instead of flying into the winds, which is not the best. And then we have 2 waypoints here. I can't preview them. Can I see either one of these, Burns or Hakiv? If I could see those on the map. I don't see either one of those waypoints. So I'm just kind of guessing. I'll just pick one and see where it puts us. I'm going to switch to heading mode so we don't change our course with the autopilot when I load it. Then I'll put the minimums in later. Oh yeah, I guess I can just do load instead of load and activate. That would do the same thing. All right, so here, this one has a procedure turn. So Burns is over here. It'll make a right. We'll do a procedure turn over here to lose altitude, and then we come back in on the 3.6. So that looks fine. We're already heading in that direction pretty much, so this one works. So I'm gonna go back to activate the approach because we wanna go directly to that first waypoint. And then go to nav mode. All right. Some gnarly weather. I mean, the clouds look amazing again. I don't think they ever looked really bad, but I know a lot of people saw a lot of differences in them. This is gnarly. We better get paid and like they better tip us for flying in this weather. Give us a case of beer or something. All right, I'm just gonna check our mixture again. We're at 2,700 RPMs. I'm just redlining it. You wouldn't really redline it. You know, I'm not being super realistic, but it's like 2,700's our peak RPM. Just leave it there. Hey Sherry, how's it going? All right. I wish I had the Navigraph add-on. I think the Navigraph in-game toolbar add-on is what was crashing me. I would like to show that stuff, but for now I can just bring up the FAA charts so we can do the ILS. One sec, let me bring that up. All right, so here's the chart for this approach. So we're just looking at our, so ILS takes us down to 200 feet. So this one, we're doing a procedure turn. Wait, what? Is this the right airport? What am I doing? Let me double check here. Maybe I loaded for the previous one. KBRL ILS 36. ILS or localizer runway 36. Okay, yeah, there is a procedure turn right here. So it burns, we have the procedure turn. So this little arrow right here, sometimes it's drawn as a racetrack, sometimes you just get this arrow. And the other reason I'm disoriented a little bit is because I didn't turn on north up mode. So over here, its default is heading up mode. So now with the latest update to the NXI, you can do north up. And this is why I prefer north up, is it'll match the charts you're looking at if you're referencing charts. So now this is in north up orientation to match what our charts look like. So here we're flying to this initial approach fix, burns right here. Then we fly south from there, and then you can see this arrow means to do a procedure turn. Relative to our plane, it'll be a left-hand turn. So to the east, we do that procedure turn to lose altitude, and then we'll be back lined up with a localizer here on a 359 course for the runway. And then our go around, if we didn't have a visual of the runway, our go around is right here, missed approach, or our missed approach procedure, climb to 2800, right turn to the VOR DME and hold at BRL. So that's over here. So that's what the dotted line represents up here, is the missed approach course. So we go up and we'll make a right-hand turn, and then over here we're holding at the Burlington VOR, which is right here on the right. And again, with a dotted, or dashed line rather, represents our holding for the missed approach. So yeah, and then with the NXI, it has support for the procedure turn. So you can see right here, it's going to do that procedure turn for us. So we're going to fly directly to this waypoint. It's going to turn right to fly that south course, and then it's going to do that left-hand turn and then 2 right-hand turns to do the procedure turn. And then there at BOD, which is bottom of descent, it's showing us where to descend and where we'll end up, where we'll finish our descent. And then when we get there, we will get the localizer and the ILS tuned in. Hey Pin, what's up? Just discovered your channel and found your tutorials to be the best around. Thanks, dude. Glad they're helpful. Appreciate it. What control settings of the course wheel steering? What's this? CWS. I don't know if I know what that is. You don't mean the course knob here, right? Course wheel steering. Oh, and also with the NXI, you can see here it shows the procedure turn. Actually, a little icon and everything right here, which is really cool. And then back here on the approach plate, we have our localizer frequency up here on the top. It's also in the middle here. You can see my highlighting right here, 108.9. So that's what we need for our navigation radio. Since it's an ILS, we need to use the nav radio. So I'm going to dial in 108.9 to get those ready. And I'm also going to dial in our minimums, which is 894 feet. So we round that up to 900. So here, minimums, Barrow, I'll do 894. So we round up for minimums. So 894 goes up to 900. And then close that. So we have the minimums right here. And we'll see that reminder on the altimeter on the strip right there too. What's next? I don't know if I've even done an ILS with the NXI yet. I've been doing all the RNAV approaches. So what's next is to dial in the localizer frequency. So it should dial it in automatically in theory, but I'm not sure if it did yet. 108.9. So it's on 110.5, so we need 108.9. So 108.9, transfer that. I'm also going to put it in nav 1. 108.9 in both of them, just for redundancy. And then you can see it's already got it in range. We are already in range because it's basically decoding the Morse code and giving us this IBRL identifier so we know that it's the correct ILS. And that code is also right here. You can see it where it says IBRL. So we know we're tuned in. So that's basically our verification. And then if we really wanted to, we could listen to it by using nav1 or nav2 right here on the panel and listen to the Morse code beeps. And we can compare that to the pattern as well. But the G1000 decodes it for us automatically right there. Yeah, I'm not familiar with course control wheel steering. I don't even know what that is. Is that an airliner thing? It sounds like something for an airliner or something. All right, so we have some awesome weather. It's just, look how bad it is up ahead. This is gonna be a fun descent too. And we have, so because I didn't program in this full approach in the world map, this is a limitation right now, but, oh, it is showing them. Huh. Sometimes I don't have the VNav info here, but you can see the VNav info. And with this, we can use, you can see we're starting our descent in 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So I'm gonna use VNav on the autopilot. Just click VNav, and you have to make sure to set your selected altitude down to where you wanna let it go down to. So now once this little magenta part on the V comes down here to the middle, it'll start the descent for us automatically. And it'll descend at this rate right here, the required descent rate. It'll keep that up for us. So I did all this in the video I have on RNAV approaches. So if you want to review it, get the full-on tutorial, you can check that video out later. But I did it with a RNAV approach in that one, and this one we're still using VNav in the autopilot. This will take us down, but we're going to use the ILS for the approach. So once we make that procedure turn, we're going to switch over to use our radio navigation system as the source instead of GPS, because ILS is radio based. So we're going to come through here, fly this exact course right there. You can see TOD, that's where our descent will start, and then bottom of descent is where it'll end. So it'll bring us down precisely to the correct altitude we need to be at that waypoint. So here we can see at GIMG, we need to be at 3,000 feet. And that's part of the approach procedure. I love this stuff. It's so nerdy. It's really cool. Some people hate the reliance on autopilot and stuff. I just can't imagine, like, could you imagine flying this in real life? I don't fly in real life, but maybe someday I'll try it. But can you imagine how stressful it is to hand fly, do communications with air traffic control, use all these dials while hand flying, like setting all this stuff up? Like, autopilot seems like so essential when you're flying IFR. Can't imagine how like mentally taxing it is to do all this in real life. It's scary enough when you do this. If you do use like that sim or something and you're doing all this at once, it's so much work. It's just insane. And you don't have that stress of being really flying through the clouds. Just crazy. All right, so let's see, our descent starting in just a minute here. 1 minute and 10 seconds until we start our descent. And we have a sweet procedure turn as part of this. Oh, hand flying with LNAV as CWS? It's a CWS is a Boeing option 737 NG and Max that keeps the angle of bank instead of having to hold the turn manually. All right, we're going down. We're not going to have a visual. We could be in the clouds until 1,000 AGL. We're actually not descending yet, but we're going to start descending shortly. We're actually level right now. The clouds are just like, you know, at this angle or whatever. So we're going to lose. We could potentially have no visual until we're out at around 1,000 feet AGL. So that's, we have about, we're going to be descending for 3,500 feet for our descent down to 3,000. So we're going to lose 3,500 feet of altitude. So here VNav is about to take over. So I've used the altitude knob on our autopilot down here to give it permission to go down to 3,000 feet. This right here, this little vertical deviation indicator, when this gets to the middle, and we have VNav armed because it says VPath. There it goes now, VPath is armed. It's gonna pitch us down to start this descent to keep this, to keep our descent down. So we'll precisely be down at Oh wow, we're in it already. We'll precisely get down to the altitude we need to be at that waypoint. And then it'll also fly the procedure turn as well. So I'm just gonna pull back on our throttle during the descent. We're already pretty slow because the winds are crazy. I do have damage turned on in this. You know what? Oh God, should I turn it off? I like the potential like entertainment value of the plane getting thrown around and then getting the end game screen in this crazy weather. You can see our winds. The winds are insane. We have 23 knot headwind, 13 knot crosswind right now. But I don't know. I kind of want to make sure that we land it. So for now, I'm gonna go and turn off. I'm gonna turn off damage just so we actually get the landing. I don't want it to just gonna turn off the damage. I don't want it to black screen. I want us to actually land this. Unlike our last flight when I hit a tree at the end. Clipped a tree. Leave damage on. Oh God. I turned it off. Damn it. All right, let's leave it on. All right, I give in. All right, damage is back on. I don't want to rob you guys of being able to laugh at me again for failing to land. So yeah, sorry, I don't want to take that away from you. You're right. All right, so here comes the procedure turn. So we're gonna make a left and then we'll make that right around. So our procedure turn, according to the approach plate, we're going to be on a 134 course outbound for the procedure turn. And then, procedure, you do like a 1 minute leg outbound, a 1 minute standard rate turn, and then a 1 minute inbound. And you can do that at any point along this course. So it's just automatically chosen a point to start. You can see that it's not ending right at this Gimji waypoint. It's actually sooner. We're ending our descent and our turn a little sooner and then lining up. But as long as you do the turn on the side that's indicated, it's legit. It's staying, I think there's like, I think there is a rule about how far away from the course you can go when you do the procedure turn, but I don't know that offhand. Oh yeah, I do. There it is. It's 10 nautical miles. So back here on the approach plate, right here in the bottom right, see it says remain within 10 nautical miles. That's referring to this procedure turn. So you can see we start at Burns, which is where we're flying over right now. Burns is right here. And then at some point within 10 miles of this line, this course, basically we have to stay within 10 miles of it when we do our turn. And then we cross over Burns a second time. So that's why the line goes down. That's our procedure turn to lose altitude down to 3,000. Then we come back inbound and we cross over Burns a second time. Yeah, so we remain within 10 miles. It's usually either 10, I think it's either 10 or 15 miles are pretty standard, I think, for the procedure turn distances. For those limitations on how much you have to remain within the course. All right, so it's doing the procedure turn for us. I have clean underwear on, but maybe not for long. It's also doing the VNAV for us. So here our VNAV's taking us down to that 3,000. So it'll keep that little magenta line in the middle. This is fine. So if the winds get too crazy and it's too much stress on the aircraft, it's just gonna black screen. And then it will be game over. Pull our throttle back a bit more too. Our ground speed is 109 knots. Should pull this down. It's gonna go to the bottom of the green arc there. All right, we're descending 550 feet per minute. That's changing as the autopilot's managing all that for us. And then we got our minimums put in, 900 feet, MSL, That's based on the minimums for the ILS for this approach. And then you can see bottom of descent. So bottom of descent, then we'll hit Gimji. And then after Gimji, we got 6.7 miles till Burns. That's the point up here at which we actually crossed over before we started the procedure turn. So it'll be a little up here to the north. And then 7 miles to the runway after that. The only thing I'm worried about is the stress on the engine. Oh, what the heck? Who is that? Let's see who that is really quickly. General. I usually have the traffic nameplates off because they just take up so much space. It's not Trip, is it? Oh, he's gone because I paused. We have a little bit of a visual there. Suck toes. Mechs suck toes. Strange that the plane's not bouncing around. Who's the brave wingman? Oh man, what's going on with our... Whoa, dude, our airspeed. Oh my god, we're almost stalling. Dude, I look away for 1 minute. Did something just change? We have a 22 knot crosswind now. Dude, what is changing? Full mixture. Whoa, we're stalling. Something is going on. Look at our airspeed. It's not the temperature. Whoa, and now we're fine. What? I think that was the crosswind. Dude, I think it's the crosswind. Oh my god, I have no idea what's happening. It's pitching us up. Oh, it's pitching us way up. Dude! I'm disconnecting autopilot. What is happening? I'm pitching the trim wheel all the way down. It's pitching us up again. Here, I'm fighting the autopilot here. Wow, that was really random. All right, we're lower than we should be. I guess I have to do this by hand. So, I mean, it could just be the weather too. Yeah, it's just going nuts, yeah. All right, we're mixture rich. Let me zoom this in. So we're way off our procedure turn now. So I'm gonna do another, let's do kind of like almost a 270 around the right here. This is crazy. It's affecting, I don't think I've had the weather affect the plane this much before. I mean, it should be doing this. This is awesome. I don't think I've ever seen it affect the plane like this before, so I'm actually kind of stoked about it. All right, we're a little lower than we should be, but we'll just wait for that that advisory VNAV to come down as I keep making this turn here. All right. Turn off live weather. It helped your sanity a lot. All right, just continuing the procedure turn by hand. And I'm gonna actually switch over, as soon as we make this next left turn, or right turn, we finish this right-hand turn, I'll switch over to the localizer. Actually, I can do that now. Autopilot's off, so I'm gonna switch over to localizer. So we'll see this come in. And the glide slope's already in range there. The music matches perfectly. Shouldn't it be like death metal or something? Saw the icing effect for the first time in a while. Oh, yeah, yeah. I love that they fixed up the icing effect. You know how it was like a full-on never off kind of thing before, and they had fixed that, which is great. Okay, so I need to keep descending. We need to get down to 3,000 feet, and I'm not doing that, so just pulling our throttle here. And this crosswind is actually kind of like making the turn for us. I'm not really pitching too much. Crosswind's just like, yeah, doing the procedure turn for us. All right, so I'm way too high. It shows the glide slope higher than us, but I think that's just because technically if we had it in range here, it would be higher than us, I guess. But we do need to get down to 3,000 feet to capture the glide slope. All right, so I'm gonna line up with the localizer now. So I'll have the localizer, but we need to get down to 3,000 for the glide slope. Hey, Craig, thanks. Oh, you're from England. Awesome. Well, welcome, man. Thanks for hanging out. All right, so when we check the weather before, we're going to have like a crazy tailwind coming in for this, but we have like a 6,000 foot runway. All right, we're at 80 knots and the glide slope's above us, but it's going to be coming down shortly. We'll be down to 3,000 feet. And then when we hit not this waypoint, but the next one, we'll have the glide slope within range. So I'm going to try to get established on the localizer. So the autopilot's off because it was trying to kill us, basically. It's pitching us up like crazy because of this storm, so just watching the localizer needle, and then we're waiting for the glide slope. I'm increasing our power right now because we're supposed to be at 3,000. I'm down to 27, so we need to get back up to 3,000. All right, so we have a 19 knot crosswind from the left. We have crazy up and down drafts because of this storm that's happening. So we're getting tossed around like crazy. And we have it says we have an 18 knot headwind right now. Wait, no, it should be a tailwind. Actually, it has both arrows. So let me change, I'm gonna change this to wind option number 2 just so we get a single arrow. There we go. All right, we're at 75 knots. Glide slope is still above us. A little bit off course here. Just trying to get that localizer back in. And I'm keeping the power in quite a bit. We need to catch back up to the glide slope. So at our next waypoint, Burns, that's in 3 miles, we'll have the glide slope in the middle. So at Burns, at 3,000 feet, that's what we're expecting for the glide slope. And with the localizer, because it's a precision approach, and the LPV works this way too, and so does the LP approach type. But basically, as you get closer, it gets more sensitive. So the scaling of these deflection markings right here gets more and more sensitive. So it's kind of harder to keep it in the middle, but it's more precise when you keep it in the middle, the closer you get to the destination, the closer you get to the runway, basically. Probably had wing icing and losing lift. The weather's, the outside air temperature is really low or really high though. It's 23 degrees. So I don't think on this one we were getting icing. I think it's like the turbulent winds, like just the up and down drafts or something because of the storm. Okay, now we have the glide slope. So I'm just gonna try this by hand. I rarely do this by hand, but let's try it. So we want to keep the glide slope in the middle. So that diamond is in the middle right now. So I'm pulling our throttle out. So we have a tailwind, but we have a really long runway. We have a 6,000 foot runway. So basically, with the glide slope, if the diamond is below us, we pull our throttle out to catch up. If the diamond's above us, we push our throttle. And that the beeping is the outer marker. So that's the outer marker of the ILS to let us know we're at the final approach fix. And then I believe the middle marker, I think, coincides with the missed approach. So for our minimums, turn flight director off. Oh, I don't know if it's bugged. There we go. Yeah, so we're descending at 500 feet per minute. All right, we are 5.8 miles from the runway, watching the glide slope, watching the localizer. So I'm a little off course, so we need to go to the left more. But our glide slope is looking pretty good. I'll put in 1 notch of flaps just to get us slow. Glide slope's still looking good. So you can see how sensitive the needle is. Like the closer we get, the more sensitive it gets on the localizer needle there in green. Just trimming a little bit. Okay, diamond's still in the middle here. So the gusts are just blowing us around. So, okay, now the airspeed's getting crazy. You can see our airspeed going from 65 to 75. All right, glide slope's a little below us, so I'm pulling out throttle. When the airspeed's too low, we pitch down to increase it. Need to get over to the left a bit more though. 3.5 miles out. Glide slope's so good. Okay, I can see one of the lights right there. We're still, you know, technically we don't have a visual, but I saw one light right there. All right, now we're on the localizer. I'm gonna trim us up a little bit because we're a little fast. Magenta marker to help with the crosswind correction. Oh, we need to be lower. So I'm pulling out throttle. We can see the lights a little bit, but I wouldn't say we have a visual. Need to be to the left more and pull more throttle out. Okay, now we're below, so I'm adding throttle because the diamond's above us. Off the localizer and too low. All right, we have pretty good visual now. I mean, yeah, there we go. All right, so I'm just watching the diamond. We're pretty slow already. We have a tailwind. I think I'm gonna do 1 more notch of flaps. And trimming our nose down a bit. All right, I lost the glide slope. I don't see that anymore. I also don't see the PAPI lights. So we're just visual at this point. Pulling our throttle out, we seem pretty high. And trimming up so we slow down. Oh, that was pretty crazy. All right, we've got a 10 knot tailwind, no crosswind. All right, I got full flaps. I actually don't know. Do we want less flaps with a tailwind? Is that the rule? And I'm adding some power. We're just a little... Yeah, we're pretty good. No crosswind component anymore. All right, going idle over the threshold there. Oh, a little short. That's pretty good. A little long, actually. Sweet. Woo! Yeah, that's a lot of work hand flying in ILS. I mean, once the autopilot was trying to kill us, I figured it was best to not trust the autopilot. All right, I'm putting the flaps up. And we got some vocals in the music. What's going on? Copyright-free shuffle playlist. Sweet. Did our wingman make it? I forget who was flying with us. Someone was right off our wing. I don't know what happened to them. Whew. That was pretty fun. That was... Yeah, it definitely gets the heart puppy. I haven't hand flown an ILS in a long time. That was pretty fun. It's just a lot of work. Can you imagine hand flying an ILS? Sorry, music's probably pretty loud. Let me turn that down a little. Hand flying an ILS while doing radio communications and doing it in real life, like, it's just crazy. Whew. That was a really smooth landing too. Normally, when I land, it's a little too fast, and yep, damage was on. Damage was on. I mean, I feel like it should have destroyed our plane probably, but yeah, I did turn damage back on. Whoops, it's under assistance. I didn't really want to, but it is on. Since our last flight when I clipped it. Someone added the GTA 5 airport? Oh, like the one that's... Wait, you mean like the military one or whatever? That's... Which airport? Not LAX? Do you mean the military one that's near like a freeway? I vaguely remember what that military one looks like where you steal the jets from in GTA 5. He was always next to you, but I was like non-existent in your lobby. Yeah, I looked. Oh, was that you, Schwartz? Or who was that was flying next to me? I saw... Oh, he's behind me? Yeah, this is weird though. There's no name. There's no name tag or anything. That livery is nice though. I didn't. Is that it says Xbox on it? I don't know why the nameplate went away. Oh look, he just disappeared. I think maybe just multiplayer has been weird. I'm on US West though. Oh, you landed in front of me? Oh, it was you? Ballsy, dude. Yeah, that was... Do you have it on live weather too? This is pretty insane. That was some gnarly weather. That was really fun. We can finally deliver our cereal groats that we got here. There we go. Cereal groats delivered. We got $358 for risking our lives. Worth it? I guess. Maybe not. Multiplayer seems weird. One friend's just been showing up on my world map in the same location since the update. Maybe he's just messing with you. Just leaves it on the entire time, just sitting at a runway. I'm in the USA, on USA West too. Ping is like 170. Oh, I see. I mean, 170, that's still fast relatively, you know, like in sim, as far as sim responsiveness goes, I mean, all right, they still have this bug with the 52 years. It did feel like it took a while, but I don't think that's right. Totally accurate. Maybe like 40 years. Sometimes he disappears and then comes back. Exact location. Yeah, there's just... I think a lot of things have changed just because of the... since the Xbox launched, obviously they've been having a bunch of problems. I think it's just the servers, you know, they just have a lot of... There's just so much traffic now. I mean, it's a good problem to have. There's a lot of people playing, which is great. All right, let's shut this thing down. Usually I just pull the mixture, shut the avionics down. That's pretty much all you have to do to get the end screen is park, cut off the fuel, and turn off the avionics, and it'll count it as a finished flight. As far as the flight sim logbooks go, every now and then I will see a parking spot that doesn't work. Like no matter where I park, it won't let me complete the flight. And unfortunately, those just end up not being counted. I think there's a spot in the logbook where it shows like incomplete flights, something like that. Where is that? Oh, sorry, logbook. It'll show like completed and incomplete. Partial flights. It didn't always do this with the partial flights. Like this was something they added a few updates ago. Oh, maybe it did always do this because this is August 19th. I think this is like when the game came out. It was in August 2020. So maybe I guess I'm wrong about that. Partial, ground to ground, and then all. I guess I've done about 1,100 flights. I don't know how many of these are like 1 minute flights though. Who knows? Did the music go away again? I know it's still there. It's just so quiet. Ah, there we go. I want to do another flight. Native logbook is really fickle. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I lost my hours at one point where it reset to 0. Just kind of a bummer. Anybody that's on Steam has the advantage of knowing the runtime, how long they've had a game running, which is nice. On the Microsoft Store, I have the Microsoft Store version, and you don't get that stat of how long you've had the game running. 1,000 hours, you could be an instructor. It's interesting because I think someone earlier said like I know enough to be a real life pilot or something. I think the procedure stuff will transfer over pretty well. You know, like in theory, like just knowing what buttons to hit. But I can't imagine what it feels like to actually have the sensation of flying, feeling every turn, feeling a gust of wind. You know, it's probably just gonna scare the crap out of me. And that's gonna mess with your brain, right? Like as much as you learn in the sim, like I feel like 5% of it will carry over, you know? Because it's gonna be such a different experience feeling all that in real life. Yeah, definitely makes me nervous. We'll see. I'll see how it goes. Yeah, I mentioned earlier, but my girlfriend was joking about her birthday's coming up, and she said for her birthday she wanted me to put me in a plane. So I'm like, oh god, like for her entertainment, I think. We'll see if that happens. More IFR, yeah, we could do that. I just like flying in real life, like on airliners. Can't imagine GA. Yeah, I'm a little nervous in an airplane, like a commercial jet, like an airliner. I don't think it, I think it's just like a normal level of nervousness, you know, like when you're taking off and landing. And going to Europe and stuff, the handful of times I've been overseas, like done the transatlantic flight, I get a little nervous, and I don't sleep well on planes. So being on a flight for 10 or 12 hours has been pretty crazy. But I just try to, you know, I bring a laptop, try to do my hobbies or whatever, like read or watch movies. It's hard for me to sleep. 60 hours in the Cessna 172. Nice. There's a lot of people that jump in, and you can totally do it this way. You can totally jump into an airliner, but I think the sim doesn't do a good job of teaching people about certain things. Like obviously the autopilot, they don't teach you about. So on Discord, there's always a lot of questions people are asking on the Flight Sim Discord, the official one, about like using autopilot and how to climb and how to descend, why their altitude reading is inaccurate, because you know there's nothing to tell them what the altimeter is, like how to set the altimeter setting so it's accurate. I think a lot of that stuff is like crucial to know when they start taking it seriously. But you know, At first you're like, oh, I'm just gonna hop in an airliner, and you're like, oh, this will be fun. You take off, and then you're like, oh, how do I know when to descend? How do I get to the airport? How do I get landing permission? There's just a billion questions. It's just so complicated, you know? I feel like it'd be really good if they had like I mean, I know I should work. I want to at some point make like a series for beginners. It's just a lot of work. I haven't quite started it, but I think people need to learn that stuff, like learn the procedures, learn the autopilot, learn the altimeter setting. Autopilot control trim. It does in like a lot of the smaller planes. Yeah, you can actually look down and see the trim wheel rotating, but I can't really speak to how it works in like jets or airliners. I think it's more complicated than that. I think it might actually, depending on the plane, you know, the plane may or may not have like a trim tab. It may actually use like the elevator. So like Cirrus SR22, when you trim, it actually trims by, it's almost like actually moving the yoke, not using like a trim wheel for a trim tab that is actually on the elevator surface, you know, like a separate trim tab physically. So it depends on the plane how it actually works, I think. Like the SR22, when you use the electric trim, it's actually pulling and pushing the yoke stick that you have and holding it there for you, as opposed to having a separate mechanical piece of the plane that's used to trim it. All right, let me do the next flight here. Definitely know the Garmin. I have about 26 hours on the 152. My dream is to fly the NXI. I think you'd be better than you think. I'm just trying to have like realistic expectations, you know, like I think any real life pilot would tell somebody that's played the flight sim, like, yo, it's way different when you get into a real plane. So I'm expecting that. Like if I get into a plane at some point, I'm really expecting to feel freaked out and feel like, you know, put off by getting thrown around with a little turbulence or a crosswind or something. And I know it'll freak me out. It'll make me nervous. And, you know, you could react to that in a bad way. So it's kind of scary, you know, like obviously that's why you have an instructor, but I think I'm trying to look at it very realistically, which is like, I'm just playing a sim and taking it a little seriously. There's a lot of stuff I don't know how to do, but if I ever jumped in a real plane, I would basically assume I know nothing, like coming at it with that mindset. Like maybe you know, tell the instructor, you know, I played flight sim a bit. I know the Garmin stuff a little bit in the sim. The real life Garmin has 1,000 features and pages and stuff, and indicators and things that none of the sims have. Even if you use like Reality XP on X-Plane, that add-on for the 530 and 430, it's still very different. It's still very limited. So anyway, someday. Maybe in a few weeks, maybe in a few years, I have no idea. When I start in the Cessna or a smaller plane, I look and the trim sometime is set at a few percent. There is a takeoff setting for the trim in every plane. Basically, it's part of the takeoff procedure and checklist. So there's a takeoff, like a standard takeoff position or takeoff range for the trim. If you start on the ground, I believe at a ramp, like at parking, I believe it starts at neutral, which might not be the right setting for takeoff. So you'd have to set it for takeoff in preparation. If you start on a runway, then it should be set up for you automatically to be in the right configuration for takeoff. So if the takeoff, say you're flying the Cessna and the takeoff is to have one notch of flaps and have the trim wheel at like, you know, nose up 5% or something, it should have that set for you by default. Difficult to use the trim since the last update. So they increased the sensitivity of the trim if you use the trim up, trim down buttons. So you don't have to hit it as many times. I wouldn't recommend pressing and holding a trim button anymore because it moves a lot more per button press than it used to. Sorry guys, I'll do another flight after this. But they did increase the sensitivity of it. So if I go in here, I'm mainly just, I don't even have a throttle plugged in today. I'm just using this side stick. But I have these two buttons, 7 and 8, set for trim down and up, trim nose down and up, you know, the top one for nose down, the bottom one for nose up. So if I look at one of those buttons, so here is elevator trim down, nose down is the top button. When I do it, I don't press and hold it because it'll change very quickly. I just tap it. I just push the button like 4 or 5 times, whatever, and watch it react. So I would recommend just push the button over and over, push it, watch, push it and watch, just tap, tap, tap. Don't press and hold it. And definitely do not bind anything to the pitch trim axis. Did they remove the elevator axis? I think they might have gotten rid of the pitch trim axis for elevator trim or pitch trim. So if you had that bound in the past, I would not do it by the axis because the autopilot will change the trim. And then when you move your axis, it'll move it to wherever it happened to be on your controller. So hopefully this makes sense. Like if you're flying and the autopilot trims you to 10% nose up, it's doing that when autopilot's on. And then you turn off autopilot and then you move your axis on your joystick or whatever, that's your trim. Your trim might be at negative 20% instead of positive 10%. So it'll instantly pull the nose to that setting, pull the trim to that setting in a split second. So that's why it's bad to use the axis. You should use the button presses for trim up and trim down. On Xbox, you hold the right bumper button and then you use the right stick up and down to trim. That's part of the tutorials. So check out if you're on the Xbox, go under here to the flight training and do the basic handling. They go over the pitch trim in these tutorials. I was actually going through these again after the Xbox release. I was doing these with the Xbox controller just to check it out. All right, I'm gonna do one more flight here. Getting a little hungry, a little hangry, so let's do one more. You know, if we fly in this area, we'll have the gnarly weather again. Maybe I should fly something different than the 172. What do you guys want me to fly? Just gonna do one more flight and then call it a day. How long have I been on? About 3 hours. Yes. So yeah, on Xbox, I think it uses button presses. Technically, you just have to be really, really light on the touch with Xbox controller. So just barely touch it. Oh, the Piper. I had the Warrior too. Whoops. Do I have the Aero installed? I think I uninstalled the Aero because I have the Caronado one. I have to install... I have the Warrior. The Extra. What kind of avionics does the Extra have? I think it has a G3X or something, right? Please do a video comparing all the career add-ons. Ah, yeah. I think I have that on my list. Let me check my little board here of videos to make. I just started a list finally. Okay, I have that. Compare career modes: on air, Neo, Fly, Skypark. I haven't used FS Economy in a while, so I'm not sure if I can compare that one yet, but I have it in my list, sir. When are they going to stick fighter jets? They have them. They have a few in the marketplace. They don't have great reviews though, but if you go to the marketplace under planes, and then filter for jets. Let's see, can you filter for jets? There we go. You can see the reviews are pretty low though. 2.4, 1.7. So it looks like the G91 has the best reviews at 3.9. Xbox is not anything like the computer. You have so much more control with a yoke and keyboard. Yeah, one benefit though I'll say on a controller is the camera. The right stick, using that to look around instead of having to grab a mouse is really convenient. But yeah, it is really challenging to fly in a controller. It is playing the sim on hard mode for sure. It's very tough. Whew, all right, I've been talking a lot. Let's fly somewhere. I could go somewhere nearby. Maybe we could jump to a different area. Let's turn on a precipitation down here on the map. If we want to find a gnarly area to fly in. So if we go over here, yeah, we were just in Iowa, so this is pretty much where we are right now. It's over in this area. And the weather here is crazy. Live weather is not working. There could be problems with live weather still. There's definitely still problems with ATC right now. They're community made. I don't think, yeah, Microsoft has not made a fighter jet yet, but they do, I think the end of this year, I think it might be November or something, they're releasing that Top Gun free add-on. So there will be, presumably there'll be an Asobo or Asobo, whatever. Asobo will make, I assume they made that fighter jet that's going to come in that expansion pack at the end of the year for the Top Gun promotion. I think that Asobo does a really good job on their planes. They released the Husky recently. They had released that ultralight as well. That was really fun. The Top Rudder or whatever one. I think they do a good job on their planes, personally. Where are we gonna fly? I don't have the Piper installed, and I don't really want to restart the sim, and I don't know if it's compatible. Let me check the extra really quickly. The extra is so fast. Oh yeah, it's got this new livery. Is that what our is that what Shorts is that what you were using was the extra? The extras are so fast. The flight school my girlfriend goes to, she says there's an extra pilot that flies out and he'll just take off, like it'll look like he's just going up vertically from takeoff, how fast that thing climbs. She said it's just scary how fast it is. Let me check. I think it has a G3X touch or something in it, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. G3X, or just the regular G3X, not the touch. Oh man, the tail dragger is so hard to fly to. This will be a little entertaining, I guess, if I fly this thing. I know nothing about the extra, so this will be funny. All right, 62 nautical miles. We don't really want a grass strip, do we? Maybe we do want a grass strip. A grass strip and a tail dragger in IFR conditions. This is going to be a great idea. 3 Hotel 5 is our departure. And then our arrival, KKNN. Knoxville. Hopefully more developers can put their add-ons on Xbox. Yeah, I don't know offhand which ones are PC only or Xbox compatible, but the weekly update that the Microsoft team does, they are starting to point out whether things are Xbox, PC, or both. So I'm gonna keep an eye on those things, so to see what gets updated where. And I thought we were in the air for a second. Oh man, it's sunset too. I might need to, yes, damage is on. I might need to turn the time of day a little earlier. You have the F-15 Eurofighter in a mod where you can fly the Rafael M. That's cool. It's at the flightsim.to site. They have a few mods. I saw there was like an F-22 on there or something. Top mock F-22. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. JBM VL3 mod, the Vertigo. Oh, I think there's one of those available in the marketplace. That isn't the VL3 a stock plane? Hornet. Knoxville. Oh man. Wow, dude. This is a bad idea. Are there checklists? Yay, I can start it up. I mean, my quote-unquote co-pilot can start it up. It's very touchy at floating to look over the dash. This plane? All right, we got our avionics. I haven't used the G3X too much. I'll set our... Oh, actually, I don't have a mod installed, so this should all be stock for the G3X. Do we have any lights in here? Can you use the canopy lock? Oh, no, you can't. Canopy's nice. All right, we got a GNS 540 down there. Nice. Transponder's on. Outside air temperature, 27 degrees. It's just super warm. Good thing. Landing light on. I assume the boost should actually be on for takeoff, but I'll just leave it alone. I'm not gonna go fully realistic. I don't know anything about the extra. I'm sure I'll get a... You guys will comment and let me know of things I'm doing wrong while I'm doing them wrong. All right, and we're just flying southbound. Here, I don't know why there's a curve in the flight plan, but we got to fly 20 miles to the south. Let's load in our cargo. Flax. I feel like I'm playing an RPG right now. Flax yarn. I tried that MMO called New World when it was in beta. Was that last weekend I tried it? It's really fun. I feel like I've been like yearning for an MMO to play every now and then, just, you know, something casual. Just something mindless to do. But yes, Flax. RPG style. All right, looks like we got Schwartz here. I see Schwartz in the distance. Where are you at? You already took off or something? All right, let's, I'm just gonna self-announce. Are you in the H-135? Who is Steve Rings? Oh wait, Schwartz. Wait, I thought you were. Who's mech suck toes or whatever? Dude, you guys are hilarious. I don't know the rotation speed or anything in this. I'll just let it lift off when it's ready to lift off. Let's see. I'll self-announce the taxi just to get the taxi ribbon.
5 traffic extra November to 1 Kilo India Papa is taxiing to runway
Old school RuneScape. Oh, nice. You can play that on the phone? All right, guys, don't judge me. I don't fly the extra. I mean, you can judge me. It's fun. Judge away. See how this goes. Oh, right. This has a parking brake. For some reason, I just assume... Hello? I hit the parking brake and the engine turned off. What just happened? Okay, mixture and prop are set. Why did this turn off? All right, let's try this again. Oh, it has a phone app? That sounds addictive. That sounds dangerous. Play RuneScape wherever you are, and the RPMs are 0 again. Huh. This is weird. All right, parking brake is on. Maybe it's a mixture thing. I mean, we're at low altitude though. Mixture is rich. Props are max. You broke the plane. Yeah. Don't judge me, guys. I can't even start the plane. I have no idea why it's turning off. Let's turn the boost pump on. Like I assume it should be anyway for takeoff. All right, stop showing off. I know, yeah, your plane's not turning off. I get it. Dude, this thing is moving. I don't even have... I have to hit the brakes to slow it down, even taxiing. Oh, RJ is here too. What's up? Where are we going here? Where's the runway? I can't see anything. All right, I'm gonna cheat a little and turn the weather. We're gonna change the weather here. Ah, there we go. So much better. And the engine's off again. I don't understand. It's gonna turn off mid-flight probably. Huh, this is so weird. I might have to fly something else. Let me reload this. I don't know what's going on. Let me try like the Cap 10 or something similar, the X Cub. I'll just do the X Cub. I don't know what's going on. X Cub. Oh, it's got a nice new blue skin, or blue livery too. And then, let's see, pick this again. 3, Hotel 5. Knoxville. All right, there we go. And I'm just gonna load it on the runway to save a minute of time. All right.
3 Hotel 5 Traffic Cub Crafters November 2 1 Kilo India Papa taking off runway 18 South departure.
All right, let's try this again. See if the Cub Crafters is if the X Cub likes me more. X Cub won't start for you. Oh, Control E. All right, time to embarrass myself. It's a bad idea with the weather too. Oh my god, this thing takes off so fast. Yes, this is totally legit weather to be flying in the X Cub. All right, let's climb out of these clouds. No, I do not know. I do not know my climb speed or any of that stuff. Just need to get above these clouds if we can. This is gnarly. I hear someone right on my tail. Nice. Dude, this new livery looks awesome too. Getting a little off course, whoops. All right, to Knoxville we go. Hey, Fly Farther, what's up? Sorry, I read your message, but didn't read that it was you. How's it going, dude? It's weird how the name, I guess maybe they made a change where the nameplates go away when someone gets too close or something. Because I don't see Schwartz. I know this is Schwartz, I'm pretty sure, but I don't see his nameplate. Yeah, these clouds are gnarly. Oh, I just missed his barrel roll. And he's gone. I don't know why, yeah, I don't know why it keeps doing that. Steve Rings on our tail. Hey, Steve. The JW1. Good thing this has G3X touch and we can see. We could use the synthetic vision. Yeah, I think I should do a weekend stream every week. Try to make a habit of it. It's a good time. I appreciate all you guys tuning in and chatting. It's really fun, and gets me to do at least a few flights without you know, recording content, you know, whatever. It's nice to just fly, actually go point A to point B without having some other goal like you know, for a tutorial or something. So it's cool. Oh yeah, there is a mod for that. I haven't tried that one yet. I did finally get that no handlebar mod that hides the top menu thing, but it looks like it's actually gone right now. Usually that doesn't bug me, but it is nice when that menu thing at the top doesn't show up. Dude, Schwartz, you're really good at just staying on it in formation. He's gone again. He just keeps disappearing. So I don't know the procedures with flying this thing. I tend to avoid complex aircraft because they scare me. The blue knob is scary. I assume I should have a higher throttle right now, and then just reduce the RPMs and just so they're into the green. I don't have the prop bound to anything because I only have one lever right now. Yes, we're up. All right. We got Steve behind us catching up. All right, let's zoom out a little bit here on the display. Dude, look at this precision. I feel like I'm doing a doing like coordinated flight, but it's not that I'm doing it. It's just that Schwartz is doing all the work, and it looks like I'm always in coordinated flight. Thanks for making me look good. This is cool. It's really fun with the. I love that the clouds are back to where they were before. Like, look, dude, that's so crazy. I just love the variation in the live weather clouds. Just looks so insane. It's just really fun. Just have it locked on live weather. Nice. We're kind of trimmed out here too. It's not really bouncing around too much. Sorry, I'm gonna be silent for just a minute. All right, guys, sorry, I'm back. Had to take a phone call from the girlfriend. She's picking up In-N-Out burger. I had to put in an order. I don't think I've had In-N-Out in like a year. All right. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see Schwartz's name. I think it's just when he gets closer, it just takes the nameplate away, I guess. I haven't done much like formation flying or close flying with people. Dude, look at the weather. I love, you can just see the ground from here. Like, I don't know, this looks really cool right now. Love it. All right, so we're headed to Knoxville with some cargo in an X Cub. Those clicks you hear, the trim. Where's the trim? Oh, is it just... I wonder if it's just electric trim in the X-Cub. This is fun. I wonder if the smart camera looks at... Oh, it doesn't look at the nearest player. There's RJ. Nice. Is that the Piper? It looks like a... It looks like the Piper. What are you, nuts, dude? The draw distance sucks now. Oh, they did say, is it coming with the next world update? They said that they're going to introduce a slider in the graphics settings so people can choose which like distance drawing level they want. Instead of having to go into your like configuration files and edit them. They said they're going to actually put it as an option. Oh, the JBM. You keep stalling. Dude, the extra looks so cool. This is great. I like how it shows the gear down though. That's funny. I'm gonna actually put the autopilot on just so I can keep doing the camera stuff and stay on course here. Autopilot, altitude hold. And let's do, there's 7,000 feet. And then into nav mode so we get over there. And we're probably not that far away. It wasn't a very long flight. Okay, yeah, we still got, man, it says 29 minutes right now, but we'll see. See how long it actually takes. Sorry guys, I turned autopilot on. Nice. They're right with it. Try not to outrun you guys. Oh yeah, you just can't, oh yeah, there you are back there. I see you. I don't know who's in this yellow one right here. It's funny how it shows the gear down. Mine looked like that before Sim Update 5. The clouds look washed out now. I think the clouds look good. I didn't really notice. Some of the clouds, like, I think it just matters what type of cloud it's rendering, but some of them are like, you know, transparent like this. Like, they're not very dense. But then there's like these ones in front of us that are just insane looking. Oh, that's Steve in the yellow one. Wait, who is Steve Rings in chat? I don't know. Everyone, you know, we all have different usernames on Xbox versus chat. I like this livery a lot though, it's pretty cool. All the new liveries I really like. It's like I don't have my landing lights on. Oh, mine looks good, yours doesn't. I'm on Ultra for clouds. Personally, I think everything in the game could be set lower except for clouds. Like, I feel like clouds are one of the most important things to have on, you know, to have on Ultra, or, you know, as high as you can set them, because they just make the game look totally different. You know, like it's one of the best graphic things. You guys look like you're like in formation almost, like one after the other. Clouds on ultra. Yeah, thankfully with the performance changes, you know, they made it, it's more doable that you could get away with higher settings, even though technically they might not be what they used to be. I should slow down a little bit because it's probably hard for you guys to catch up. I'm only going 100 knots though, but I guess if you're in a similar plane, I mean, the extra can catch up to me real easy. All right, we're at 7,000 feet. We're gonna have some nasty weather to fly in over here. 25 minutes, so we're 37 miles away. And just max it out on the throttle. These guys are all like flying in and out of the clouds. Hey Brett, what's up? Just finished up a flight from the upper area of Michigan to Niagara Falls in the King Air. The weather was kind of sporty. Yeah, I think we're in Iowa right now. We're flying to Knoxville as our destination. Let's see what the nearest airport is. Yeah, we're flying from 3 Hotel 5 south to Knoxville. And right here, there's Kilo Echo Zulu India, K-E-Z-I, Kezi. That's off to our east right here. And we're headed down here south to Knoxville, KKNN. I don't know, there might be a smaller airport closer, but looks like 3 Golf 8 we just passed a little while ago. And I'm on the US West server for multiplayer. And we're gonna fly into some ridiculous weather that you should not fly into with an X Cub, but we're gonna try to deliver these supplies here. We're delivering, did I not start it? I don't think I started it. Oh yeah, we did. Wait, why can't it find me? That's weird. Paused. Whoops. Oh well, we're gonna pretend we're bringing the flax yarn to Knoxville. I don't check the Skypad enough. And I do this all the time where I just forget to get the flight going. I feel like I'm way more strict about doing it with on-air company because I feel like I'm just used to doing it in on-air and hitting it. It'll actually automatically start a lot of the time with on-air company. But with Skypark, you have to like manually do it. These clouds are so gnarly. Gnarly, brah. Gnarly. Sorry. It's a California. It's an old California word, right? Nobody even says gnarly anymore, do they? I don't know. Dude, look at this. It's just crazy. It's so cool looking. I love it. You gotta love the clouds. Looks worse over there for sure. Yeah, this looks horrible. Maybe the update had a different effect on different graphics cards. My clouds are on Ultra, but still look terrible. Oh man, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I've heard people of deleting, what do they delete? Like the user config file or something to kind of reset it. You could try like clearing your cache. You could try restarting with a graphics preset to try to reset it. Like go back to like the high-end preset or something to like reset all of the settings. I just, I'm using high-end preset, but then I turn buildings, trees, grass, and clouds all to ultra, but I leave all the other settings alone. And then I turn the glass cockpit refresh rate to high, so this will update a lot faster. We can't see you anymore. I'll try to stay near you because your stream I know a little bit. I'm just going direct to Knoxville, so if you just plug in, if you have GPS in the plane you're flying, just plug in Kilo Kilo November November KKNN and then to Knoxville. I'm just heading directly there. If you plug in both, then you'll get the exact course. Plug in 3 Hotel 5 to KKNN. That'll give you the exact course I'm flying. So right now it's a 191 for the course to Knoxville from where I'm at. 191. Cub killer. The clouds, yeah. Should probably avoid this lightning storm right in front of me. Maybe a good idea to avoid this. A little less sharp after the update, getting way better frames. Yeah, I will pick better frame rate over the graphics every time. See you, Dragon. Good to see you, man. Have a good rest of your weekend. Yeah, I went back to a preset. I don't know if that helped or not, going to trigger one of the presets and then modifying it from there. Yeah, the clouds look pretty good. I think I have all the like I don't know if object level of detail, if that does anything to the cloud level or not, the cloud detail or not. But I have that at 100. It's on whatever the high-end settings are. Can I add your Discord after the flight? Oh yeah, of course. It's linked in the description if you want to join up. Yeah, there's like 50 of us in there or so, and we chat here and there. It's pretty quiet overall because it's relatively new, but yeah, if you want to join up, feel free. I have a few bots set up that just like auto post videos in some of the channels just of things I follow. You can always just mute those channels if those are annoying, but I think by default the server is set to mute the whole server, so you won't get like annoying dings for every single message and all that kind of stuff. So I try to be respectful of people's Discord notifications. That stuff can get out of hand like really fast. All right, let me zoom the range back in here. Just dodging these clouds. This is pretty cool. We are pretty, we were at 7,000. We're at 5,600 feet now. I tried DCS once. Basically, no, I don't. I tried DCS one time. Man, that game has a learning curve. But I pretty much just play flight sim. I know I'm in the yellow on my speed. I'm just maxing it out right now. Just get to our destination. Watch some videos on Scrappy. What is Scrappy? Let me see if I can see you guys behind me still. Oh yeah, I see all you guys still. It's like fireflies out there. This cloud dodging is really fun, actually. This storm is just insane looking. I see a mind relic right here. He's the closest to us right now, looks like. Hey, you guys are catching up to me. I'm in the slowest plane of all of us, probably. You have the F-16 and the F-18. I bought a couple of the jets, but I don't fly them too much. They're pretty fun, though. Or are you talking about DCS? Spitfire and a Huey. Oh, you're talking about DCS, huh? I don't understand the people complaining about the clouds. Well, it sounds like some people still, they look crappy for some people still. I don't know. I would try the graphic preset kind of to reset it, like do one of the overall presets for a graphic level. You know, pop it up to ultra or high end and then just apply those settings and then modify it from there and see if it kind of resets everything, kind of wakes it up if it's having problems. Everyone's back. Nice. We got like a plus sign formation here. What's up? What's up, my dudes? Nice formation flying, guys. Very nice. All right, I think we need to descend. I didn't look up the airport elevation or anything like that. We're just gonna do a flyby. So let's see, we are still 20 miles out, it says. Oh, we're gonna get under some of these clouds. Dude, this wall of storm in front of us or whatever this is just gnarly. Gnarly. I gotta stop saying that word. Mine's Relic must be one of you guys too. Oh, dude, this weather is crazy. I'm trying to play it VFR style and stay out of the clouds, if possible. I mean, we're definitely not following VFR rules. We're way too close to the clouds. Draco and Scrappy. No, I mean, I'm relatively new to the sim world. I've only been flight simming for like a year. So I don't know all the personalities and things like that. I know a couple of them, but yeah, not everybody, not all of them. It's a little embarrassing. So it's showing the traffic on the default on the G3X Touch here. I noticed on the NXI doesn't show traffic yet, and I'm also wondering if the NXI, because it doesn't show traffic, if it prevents traffic from being shown on the VFR map as well. All right, so Knoxville is coming up. How many miles do we have? 17 miles for Knoxville. We're just gonna do a flyby. We'll figure out where to fly, where to land. We'll just we'll do a pass. Oh, real life planes. I thought it was a nickname, the Draco and the Scrappy. Or some of those are people. I don't know if we're talking about people or planes. Oh, sorry, Schwartz is talking about planes. I get that. I don't know what Draco or Scrappy is though. I guess it must be like an aviation personality or YouTuber or pilot or yeah, something. I'm just not aware because I'm so fresh. Nice, Wolf. That was a beautiful, dude, that was beautiful. Yeah, the thing is so fast, it's crazy. It's probably really hard to fly the extra at 100 knots. Nicknames for the guy's plane that he builds. Oh, I got you. The livery is awesome. It's a stock livery. It's on the X Cub. I don't have any third-party liveries installed. But if you pick the X Cub and you have the latest update, you have this one. And most of the stock planes have a new livery it's just called Livery 1. There's just a lot of really cool ones. We were looking at some of them earlier in the stream. But yeah, just go check out the stock liveries that are already installed. As long as you have I think they just all came with the sim update and the Xbox launch. So you should have them. Yeah, there's some really cool ones. The Pit has two. The Jet, I think the Citation has one. It's almost every plane, I think. Like pretty much everything got a new livery. A lot of them are really cool. They're not all the same. They're all unique, actually, as far as I can tell. There is the Xbox livery for like every stock plane that they did, but then they did an additional livery for pretty much all of them. Some of them are really cool. Like the TBM has a really cool blacked out TBM livery. There's a lot of black liveries, actually. The Diamond DA62 has one as well. Yeah, they're really cool. I think is the TBM the reflective one? The CJ4 has like a reflective one that's like purple and blue, like gradient. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, just go look through all the planes. There's a lot of really good ones. All right, we are 11 miles away still. Black one with a TBM. Oh, yeah. I like the diamond one a lot, too. It's also like a black one with like gray lines all around it. Looks neat. Oh, man, this is going to be such a messy landing. I only fly, I don't fly any of the tail draggers. I'm really bad at it. It's another level. Takeoff or landing. Takeoff's weird too, just how you can't see over the dash. It's so weird. Yeah, you guys can feel free to add me. I just, I'm gonna be done after this flight because I've been on about 4 hours. I really need to eat some food, drink some water. You guys keep disappearing, but otherwise it's a lot of fun. Yeah, they just must be having some problems. I'm zooming with the mouse wheel. If you're on PC, when you right click and use the mouse wheel, you can just scroll the mouse or use the mouse like this. You can just zoom with the mouse wheel in and out. You can actually zoom out. Like here's the default. If you zoom out with the mouse wheel, you get a little higher field of view there. Steve is down there super low. Someone's inverted behind us in the pits. Or, you know, it looks like the pits. Mind relic. All right, Knoxville's coming up shortly. How do you zoom on Xbox? How do you zoom on Xbox? I think you might hold the left bumper button. Yeah, no, that's up and down. I'm not sure how to zoom. I know you hold the left bumper button and then you can move around with the left stick when you do that, but I don't know the zoom level. It might be the triggers. No, the triggers move you up and down, actually. I'm not really sure. I'd have to look it up, but if you go into your controller settings, you should be able to look it up and see if it's bound to anything. All right, we are 6 miles. We should see the airport by now. Should be like 6 miles, like right in front of us. I think this is the field right over here. Yeah, that looks like it. Let's see, does this thing have wind information? I'm not sure that it does. Menu, setup. Yeah, I don't think there's wind information on this. Yep, right button and right stick, yeah, is for trim on the controller. All right, guys. I don't know the runway headings here. I didn't look anything up. Oh, looks like there's one right in front of us, actually. I'm not checking the wind or anything. we're just gonna go for it. Oh yeah, here they are right here. So there's a, I think that, is this it right here? I thought it'd be bigger than that. I guess it's pretty small airport maybe. Click in the middle of the GPS. Oh, right. The HSI, right? Oh, yeah, there we go. More wind. Nice. Thank you. All right. Yeah, we have a ton of wind. So wind's coming from 214, so we want to turn to the right a little for our landing. And I think there's a runway in that direction. Thanks, Brett. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, there's a runway right there. Schwartz is going in first. All right, moment of truth. I do not fly tail draggers. I'm so nervous about landing this thing.
500.
Is that the runway? I mean, it looks like a runway. Schwartz landed in the grass. Is that a runway? I can't even tell what I'm looking at. That's not a runway. Where are we? I guess it's just a grass strip. I have no idea. Where's the Knoxville airport? Ooh, I'm bouncing. Oh God, easy on the brakes. Oh my God. Oh God. Dude, I gotta go around. No. I'm dead. I'm so dead. No. I'm dead. I'm sorry. No. No. Nobody do anything that my tutorials say. Oh God. Oh my God, it pulled so hard to the left. I cannot fly It's a grass strip. Oh man, did I land 1 out of 3 flights? This is so embarrassing. You flipped it. Oh, you were doing a tricycle gear. Oh my god, I cannot fly the tail draggers. Smooth. Landing behind me. You mean behind my wreckage? Either way, as soon as I landed, I think I was screwed because I had to put on the brakes really hard to stop, and I didn't want to face plant. So then I was like, well, I guess I need to get back up in the air, but there's no room. Oh god. I'm just hanging my head in shame right now. This is it's been a failure of landings tonight. The first one was fine. I was coming in fine. My wing touched the tree, and I actually didn't think it would end the game by tapping a tree, because normally you can just fly through them. Face planted in the X Cub. Oh, Josh, your mind relic. Nice flying with you. Guys, if you could just pour out a beer over my wreckage in memory of where I crashed, I'd appreciate that. Just get like a cheap Mexican lager or something. Just get like a Modelo. Pour out a Modelo over where I tried to land. Thank you. I'd appreciate that. Oh man. Yeah, I definitely need to practice the tail draggers. I mean, this thing should be able to land really well on a grass strip. Oh man. Well, that was fun. Thanks for joining in the flight, guys. That was good. That was good stuff. It was fun having like 3 or 4 of you flying around. Nice formation flying. Very impressive. I stalled and crashed the pits 20 seconds before you. Yeah, Schwartz, nice formation flying, man. You were off my wing like the entire time. Very impressive. Rip Kip. All right, guys, it's been fun. Sorry, sorry I only put it down once today. That's pretty bad. Or is it twice? Maybe twice. I don't know. It is. It's definitely stressful with having the damage on. Randomly came across your stream, heard you call out an airport and join for the last few minutes. Well, thanks for joining, dude. Yeah, I'll try to call those out in the future streams just so you guys can hop on and fly. It's pretty fun. That was good times. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it here. It's been almost 4 hours of a stream, so that's enough for me. I'm gonna grab a beer. I'm gonna grab some food. I haven't eaten since breakfast, so I had a late breakfast, so no big deal. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'll see you guys in the next stream and in the YouTube comment section and Discord and the Flight Sim Discord if you're in that one. So I'll just see you around. Have a good rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. Peace out.